those players, and they got that win. So now, okay, all right, you have my attention again. I'll watch. And it's what it does is it introduces the idea that somebody other than Golden State could win it. Maybe for the first time. Maybe for the first time you'll think to yourself for a second, well, because you wrestled back home court. And now you think it's possible Houston wins the series. I don't think at any point prior to this you thought that.
Yeah, I think it's still a sliver of a possibility, but what tomorrow becomes is you're not going to mess around and win Game 5, are you, Rockets? That's what that is at tip-off. You're going, well, hang on a minute here. You're not going to win this game because if you do, then you're on the brink of slaying the dragon, and you even have a strike to boot. And if you need that strike, you come back home for Game 7.
Yeah.
I mean, now Golden State wins Game 5. I think most everybody expects that they're just going to cruise in Game 6, but I mean, the Rockets did show heart last night at a time when nobody expected them to. So who knows? Even if Golden State wins Game 5, Game 6 is interesting because of what we saw last night happening at Oracle.
Without question. It's exciting, and I hope it happens, and I hope we get a 7th game. I hope we have a 7-game series. I do think we're going to get a 7-game series in the other series. I think Boston wins tonight. That game, by the way, at 8:30. 8 o'clock is the hockey tonight. It's an interesting night. I mean, obviously, we're talking about Game 7 in the Eastern Conference Finals and the Stanley Cup playoffs as, the NHL playoffs as the right to play for the Stanley Cup is on the line tonight. Tampa Bay all-time 5-2 in this situation, Game 7, with a chance here to add to an already impressive ledger. I think it's the best record with a minimum of 5 Game 7s under a franchise's belt.
Yes,
I think it's the best record. And obviously the record Washington has in Game 7's not good. One of the worst records, I think 3-11. But none of that really matters because this is a singular game. Not all of those players involved in those other results are on board with these games. So,
I got offered a seat to tonight's game, and I just, last night I was like, I can't take the day off. I really wish that, I had a private jet to take me after the game was over.
Little Jimbo special.
Well, yeah, after the show's over, it doesn't tip till 8:15, or excuse me, I'm thinking the NBA, but the puck doesn't drop till 8:15. So if I had the old ESPN jet that you got taken away for the Virginia Tech game in 2012, then maybe I could get there.
Yeah, yelling at the booth next to the guys. Well, what are you going to do, man? I was excited. Didn't know they were within earshot, and so.
That's going to be one hell of an atmosphere tonight, though.
A lot of fun. In a way, though, I have to say, I think being at a Game 7 is almost more stressful than just kind of clamming up, shutting the doors, putting the air down low, locking in front of your tube, right? Alone with your thoughts, not dealing with others' irrationality, only yours, only your own reactions to moments in time where you can act like a fool if you need to. You can hold your breath, you can weep, you can laugh, you can do it all.
You wouldn't know that anybody's in the room if there was a door closed and the game was on, because for big games like this, college football, Game 7s, and college football is like that a lot because you only get one crack at Clemson. It's not a best of 3 or anything. It's just one Saturday in October or wherever. I'm quiet. I just watch. I don't even yell. I mean, if we score, I may say yes. But usually when I watch a game, I'll point out what I see, and I'll just be talking to myself, but not in this circumstance. I'll just be
I'm always
quiet.
trying to get a feel for I'm always really looking to get a feel for who's controlling the action, who are going to give themselves the best opportunity. Doesn't mean you're going to win the game, but you're trying to see who's controlling the puck. You're seeing who's generating the best opportunities. You want to see if that jump is there. We showed it early in Game 5 that we were ready to go, and we haven't been consistent with that. So I want to see something that resembles the Boston series in terms of the energy and the what for in the legs.
Well, that's the thing you can see easily with the Lightning. I don't know that there are many teams where you see the disparity of when they have it and when they don't more great than with the Lightning. I mean, it's apparent.
It's
nights
weird,
that they're going to lay. I mean,
yeah.
Games 1 and 2. Just go back in your mind for those who watch this series. It doesn't look like the same team, but when they have the jump that they do in the first period of Game 5, it's a completely different team. Same players. What changes?
Now, Tom, what is the NHL's policy on cocaine? Because in a Game 7, I'm not a big proponent of using illicit drugs. I'm not saying that teams, franchises, or doctors should give their players drugs that are illegal, that could find them in trouble. But it's Game 7. So I just don't know. I don't want guys suspended when we get to the Stanley Cup Finals if, in fact, they decide to provide a little extra tonight for the Lightning, because they have been lethargic at times. We can't have that tonight. By any means necessary, Tom, is what I'm trying to tell you.
I think the NHL...
Amphetamines? What about amphetamines? What are the rulings there?
Well, they could just, the
I'm kidding for those of you that are
the way you pour a cup of coffee, maybe they could just get a Cameron coffee.
Fly me down. I got you covered. Cuban coffee it is. We're getting after it, boys. Let's go.
But I think, and that's no joke, I got that at Gordo's a year and a half ago when I had to make an unexpected drive through the middle of the night.
Fantastic, wasn't it?
Yes. It absolutely, I mean, and it was a little pour. It was nothing.
No. It's got a high concentrate.
Oh, my. I think the NHL's policy is we are cocaine. You don't need it because that's what we are. And that's what tonight's going to be. It's going to sound like Doc did an awful lot of it before the game started.
Prober was like, yeah, I'm all in. Back in the day.
Oh, yeah.
Baba had a good time.
Well, I think without getting too deep into the weeds, I think that league might dabble. Just a guess.
There was a reason that I chose that particular.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't.
You didn't say speed.
Right. It wasn't random. I've always known that about the NHL. Every league's got their thing, man.
Yeah, it's a curious one. It's like, really? And then, guys get pulled over, and it's not about weed.
Man, you guys are going to have to endure 24 hours of stupidity with people talking about the NFL's new anthem policy, but we'll give you some clarification here in a moment. It's Jeff Cameron Show, 97.9 ESPN Radio.
Sorry, boys, I did not have time to pack.
We got this.
It's right here, guys.
We got this.
I thought I could handle it.
We got this.
Moving doesn't have to be a hassle. Call us first at 2 Men and a Truck. No matter the move, home or business, we'll make it a smooth one.
I forgot something.
We got this.
Landowners, your Mahindra dealer is ready to help you save during Mahindra's Red Tag Sale. Enjoy up to $7,900 in tractor cash back and savings, or utility vehicle savings up to $1,700. Plus, Mahindra's industry-leading warranties still come standard. So hurry in for Mahindra's Red Tag Savings.
TNT. When you're in need of auto repairs, look no further than Nice Tire and Auto Service. Nice has been in business for 16 years with long-term, knowledgeable sales associates. They have the latest wheel balancing machine in the industry. And for passenger vehicles, they service AC, brakes, suspension, tune-ups, and much more. Never sit through a long wait. Nice Tire and Auto has 10 service bays to get you back on the road quickly. If you have tire problems, check out their large inventory with various Goodyear and Michelin tires. Nice Tire and Auto Service, 4792 Bluntstown Highway, 574-4100.
Girls? Want to pull up to the party on this? Or arrive in this? Make this musical request? Or this one? So yeah, you can keep drinking the same old, but we think you'll like the exploding fist bump, showing up to the party properly way to lemon lime, right? Mountain Dew Ice. Clear, refreshing lemon lime, redefined.
Want to trick your truck for free? Mountain Dew and Dollar General announce Trick Your Truck, your shot at winning up to $10,000 to trick your truck. Get your free Do Life sticker at any Tallahassee area Dollar General and put it on your ride. Spotters are looking for Do Life stickers now.
Hey, I'm Jeff Doxey, Realtor for Capital Property Consultants, representing Premier Fine Homes. If you're thinking of owning your own brand new Premier home, call or text me at 850-545-4747 or email me, jeffdoxey1@gmail.com. You say where, I'll be there. Your Canopy Connection.
1868. General John Logan calls for a national day of remembrance in honor of those slain on the field of battle during the Civil War. May 30th was chosen as the day when Americans across the nation would gather to offer prayers for the fallen soldiers and their families. 100 years later, Congress declared the last Monday in May to be the nation's official Memorial Day, when we join together in remembering our first responders, law enforcement, and all those in military service who have given their lives in defense of freedom and kept us from harm's way. This Memorial Day tribute is brought to you by Southern Smiles Family Dentistry in Quincy, online at southernsmilesfl.com or call 875-3908. Healthy Solutions on Miccosukee Road, online at hs-med.com or call 309-0356. And Tallahassee Family Magazine, online at tfmmagazine.com.
Lawn Pros of Tallahassee reminds you to show your gratitude for the sacrifices made by those serving in our military by sending packages to our troops while they're away. Just call your local veterans organization. This message is from Lawn Pros of Tallahassee. For all of your lawn maintenance and landscaping needs, call Robbie and the pros at 850-508-0595. That's 508-0595. They're wishing you and your family a safe and happy spring.
For better gas mileage and a longer-lasting engine, change your vehicle's oil at Superlube every 3 months or 3,000 miles, whichever comes first. For good times and family fun, Tallahassee heads to the Fun Station. And right now, when you change your oil at Superlube, you'll get a $15 Fun Station gift card. You don't need an appointment. You'll be in and out in no time. And with 19 Tallahassee area Superlubes, there's probably one right around the corner right now.
How I love to Superlube my car, yes sir!
Get your weekend started right here on 97.9 ESPN Radio. Saturdays at 6 a.m. with Fishing Florida Radio. Listen to the three amigos, Boudreaux, Steve Chapman, and Captain Mike Ortega as they catch you up to speed on what's new and biting in the North Florida region. Big-time guests, celebrities, interviews, and 3 hours of the fishing info you need. Fishing Florida Radio is brought to you by Sea Quarters Marina off Highway 98 in Carabel. Sea Quarters Marina, your full-service marina. And presented by Hobbit American Grill and Mike's Marine Supply.
Xfinity delivers the fastest internet, the most Wi-Fi coverage throughout your home, and the most Wi-Fi hotspots nationwide. Only from Xfinity. Call, click, or visit an Xfinity store today to experience all Xfinity has to offer.
This is the Jeff Cameron Show. Jeff Cameron Show on 97.9 ESPN Radio.
Jeff Cameron Show, 97.9 ESPN Radio. Thanks for tuning to it. Tonight, by the way, after the show concludes, don't forget, Front Row Knowles will be brought to you. My buddies, Tom Block, Keith Jones, Tim Linefeld, and then good guests tonight.
Yeah, Jesse/Jessica Warren from Florida State softball, third baseman, all everything, and Cal Raleigh joins the program as well.
He's played real well this year, and obviously, as you just noted, she's an all-world player. So a chock-full episode of Front Row Knowles tonight should be a lot of fun. Something that always during the crux of the issues here, or the height of the controversy from last year with the NFL's anthem protests, one thing that didn't get brought up an awful lot as people weighed in on their opinion about whether you should or should not kneel and what it represents or what it doesn't represent or what it's about and what it's not about, was the fact that the NFL as a league, I thought, had really done themselves a disservice and put themselves in a position to have something like this crop up because they didn't have a definitive policy. And the other leagues do, by the way. The other leagues do. So the fact that there really wasn't a policy helped further lead to a greater discussion and a larger and more persistent discussion around things that didn't involve football, which the league would most likely be cringing over, of course. And this is an awful lot about money, make no mistake. That's my point on this issue. It's always been about money. It's not about Roger Goodell or the owner's love of country. It's certainly not about their love of the troops or the different armed forces or those in service. I'm sure those guys feel a certain way about that. We all do. But this was always about money. And so you're not surprised anymore, and I'll speak on that a little bit more in-depthly here in a second. So you're not surprised today to find out that they have now come around to having a uniform policy, which makes an awful lot of sense. It's funny, they list out 6 different things. Really, you only need 2 here. but what they wrote in their release today, the NFL's policy statement on anthem protests, you're going to hear so much gibberish surrounding this issue. You're going to see this used as a fuse for shows across the country, television shows in particular that like to put talking heads in boxes so that they can scream at each other and confuse the issues so that you'll be titillated and watch something that has nothing to do with nothing and confused overall by the issue that's not being discussed. So it's always frustrating there. It's fear and consumption. It's how our news media works. The 32 member clubs of the National Football League have reaffirmed their strong commitment to work alongside our players to strengthen our communities and advance social justice. The unique platform that we have created is unprecedented in its scope and will provide extraordinary resources and supportive programs to promote positive social change in our communities. All right, so that's the NFL saying to players who are protesting, hey, we're going to try to do more stuff in the community and help out people of color. That's what they're saying. So our workforce, largely being black, we understand, we'll try to throw some money your way. That's what they just said there. The membership also strongly believes that here comes the but, ... Just breaking it down for you here. You guys are smart enough to know this, but just in case, because sometimes you're half listening, half not, you're driving along, I got you. 1, all team and league personnel on the field shall stand and show respect for the flag and the anthem. 2, the game operations manual will be revised to remove the requirement that all players be on the field for the anthem. Personnel who choose not to stand for the anthem may stay in the locker room or in a similar location off the field until after the anthem has been performed. A club will be fined by the league if its personnel, meaning its players, are on the field and don't stand. Each club may develop its own work rules consistent with the above principles regarding its personnel who do not stand and show respect for the flag and anthem. So that's a form of the league saying, not only are we going to punish you, but then you can turn around and punish the players after we've punished you. See what? You're not getting your guys to do what we've told you to do, so you may want to exact punishment after we exacted a punishment upon you for not getting them to do what we've asked you to get them to do. And finally, the commissioner will impose appropriate discipline on league personnel who do not. I can fine you and or suspend you. Gotcha. That's the league personnel. The beginning of this is all you needed to know. All team and league personnel on the field got to stand for the anthem and pay respects to the flag. If you don't feel like doing that, you don't have to. We can't make you do that, but you got to stay in the locker room at that point because we're not going to have people out on the field kneeling because it affects our bottom line, and that's troublesome. Because don't you understand, we make a lot of money off the United States military and the Defense Department, who pays us, in fact, millions of dollars for military flyovers, flag unfurlings, color guard ceremonies, enlistment campaigns, and the like.
Yeah, but also it's important to note that this is a statement saying that we are, in fact, afraid of our consumers getting angry enough at us that other sponsors pull their dollars. It's not just about the U.S. Defense Department's millions of dollars. It's about other companies that don't even want to be in the middle of this shouting match between us, our players, and our consumers of the game. And they're going to say, I'd rather not be in the middle of this triangle. Let me take my $50 million contract away, and somebody else can be the pizza provider of the NFL.
So, once again, we'll stamp this accurately as a money issue and not a patriotism issue, not an issue other than one that involves millions of dollars being paid to the NFL, its owners, obviously. And we get back to something that we know to be true. And, you know, it's interesting because I used to wonder about this. I always thought it was foolhardy to kind of marry sports and politics or sports and patriotism, certainly for leagues to do so. I understand protests. I understand what that means. But I always wondered why the league had suddenly taken a turn and really wrapped itself in the American flag the way that it had. And I always felt like it was artificial. It was superficial, excuse me. I always felt like it didn't feel very genuine. Didn't feel like something that was born out of a real love of country, but rather spurred by something else. Turns out I was right. I didn't know it, but that gut feeling turned out to be true when we found out that the Department of Defense paid millions of dollars to the National Football League for the aforementioned flag unfurlings, color guard ceremonies, enlistment campaigns, military flyovers, as well as national anthem performances. And not only that, their policy then changed in 2009 when the athletes were encouraged to participate. Prior to that, teams were not given any specific instructions on the matter. Some chose to remain in the locker room until after the opening ceremonies were completed. We tend to forget that as fans, by the way, as an aside. Like, we forget that there was a time not all that long ago where it was absolutely commonplace for people to be in the locker room during the national anthem.
Right.
It wasn't always a thing where the people participating in the game had to be a part of it.
It wasn't always played before a game started.
No, it wasn't. But somehow those two have become intertwined now. And so the policy changed frankly, I don't think it's much of a leap in logic on my part to say that the NFL's policy on this changed due to Defense Department contracts. I don't think there's a better way to say that, right? That's why.
Yeah, because they're a client.
Right, because of the millions of dollars they were given by the Defense Department. If you don't believe me, you can go look all that up. You go back and read the report from John McCain, Arizona Senator Jeff Flake. They had an oversight report that showed nearly $5.4 million in taxpayer dollars had been paid out to 14 NFL teams between 2011 and 2014 to honor service members, put on elaborate patriotic salutes to the military, amongst other things. It was a recruitment issue. The military, the Department of Defense, was paying the NFL to try to elicit a response. They wanted to pull your heartstrings in hopes that you would join the military or support the military in some way. And so it wasn't from a place that was genuine. It wasn't from a place that said, you know what, I really would like to, as a league and as an owner of a football team, honor the men and women serving our country in the armed forces. I feel strongly about it, and I'd like to put on some sort of display before games that certainly acknowledge their sacrifices. And I want to do that because I love my country. I love what it stands for, and I want to pay tribute to those that have fallen and those that are serving. No, it wasn't that at all. It was that they were being paid millions of dollars, and they don't want to lose millions of dollars. And so now they're coming around to having a policy finally. So that's what's happened. You're going to hear otherwise. You'll hear lots of other things that will cloud the issue some, but that's what's gone on here. It is about time that the league did something. You don't have to agree with it, and or you could agree with it, but that's why this happened.
Yeah, it would have been smart when they're ramping up participation and all. If you're going to mandate somebody to be on the sidelines, you might want to, mete out exactly what they have to do, because the other leagues did. And
yeah, the NBA,
the government,
Major League Baseball.
It's not like the government is just spending money on the pro football game. It's all the pro sports, all the major pro sports. I'm sure some colleges have seen a couple of dollars here and there too. It's just, listen, and for me, I got no problem with that as long as there's a more clear understanding that it's paid for. I would rather there just be more communication there than this kind of implied we're doing it because it's the right thing to do versus we're doing it because we're paid to do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It was weird, too. You could feel it. I mean, I remember you and I talking about it years ago. I remember talking about it on the air a long time ago. I brought it up. There was a service member who listened to the show, and he was overseas. And he sent me an email, I think, and he was thanking me, which good Lord, you want to talk about honored and humbled by. But he had thanked me. He said, yeah, it feels artificial to me, too. I've never liked it. Because I called it fake patriotism. I thought that it felt an awful lot like fake patriotism.
Somebody paying you to say this?
No. There were a ton of things that, and you see it every day. You see it all the time, forms of sort of this fake patriotism because people think it's what you're supposed to do and all that. And it always feels dirty. But it's like a lot of the pop country songs that make it big on like 94.9 and 103.1, those stations. All those songs are the same. They're formulaic. They're silly. They say the same thing. They don't have anything of any interest or real intrigue. There's no real art form to it. It's just a sort of a – anyhow. So when that happens, I'm always like, oh, great, another Pepsi commercial. So that's what this felt like in the NFL. And, it turned out it was. I had no idea that it really was.
Right, because
somebody paying to advertise to pull on your heartstrings to make you feel a certain way, but it was disingenuous.
When was that known, too? That was about 2 or 3 years ago that it really was disseminated?
Well, when the report came out. When the report came out in 2015.
Okay, so, yeah.
In 2015, that report came out that proved what we, suspected.
They're a client. It's fine. Like, as long as people understand that that's the nature of the relationship, and that's where I feel as a consumer, because I'm consuming something that's paid
you
for,
don't want to feel
I
like
feel
you
betrayed
have
a little bit.
the wool pull over your eyes a little bit there, yeah. Oh, and listen, don't misconstrue my disdain towards the NFL and their dishonesty and sort of the way they went about all of this with having some sort of derogatory feeling towards those serving. Nothing could be further from the truth. My father served, your father served, my grandfather served, my brother served. No, I mean that's not it at all. It's just the NFL is I want to say something, but I can't.
But all you need to have is just when the national anthem is being conducted pregame, Fox, CBS, NBC, whatever it is.
You want a watermark?
It says in the top left corner, presented by U.S. Army. Then we're done here. Then everybody knows what's going on, and then you choose to consume it however you want to. It's much like the concussion issue. Just give me all the facts so I can consume it the way I want to, because a lot of people are going to feel the exact same way about the anthem, whether or not it's paid for or it isn't paid for.
That's right. By the way, it leads me to the second part of our NFL discussion today, which is that Real Sports doing a thing on Brantley, former Gator announcer, former Buccaneer linebacker. And we have an opportunity. I think I'm going to have an opportunity. I got to double check this. I don't want to jinx it. Certainly, to speak with guys from Real Sports about this. John Frankel, who does the reporting, he's one of the reporters on Real Sports, does a great job. Did the piece on Scott Brantley, and I haven't seen the piece yet. But it's in conjunction with. It's a report on the NFL concussion settlement. Married with this Scott Brantley report that he's revealed that he has Alzheimer's, former Gator, former Buccaneer, former University of Florida color analyst as well, and so I think we're going to get a chance to talk to John Frankel either tomorrow or early next week about that piece, and I'm interested in that on a lot of levels, but most notably the NFL concussion settlement and what's going on with some of the controversy still in which they're denying former players money. And largely, I think their effort is to show that while certainly we're no longer disputing that football indeed can in some individuals cause brain damage and may have it directly led to Scott Brantley and other players dementia and or Alzheimer's, CTE, what have you. We're not so sure that specifically that happened because he played in the NFL, but rather that he just played football in general. Therefore, we're denying your claim. We're not giving you any money. Well, that's a problematic road to go down, and they may not be wrong, but if you're going to have NFL doctors in an effort not to have to pay more money from this lawsuit, this settlement, stand, and swear to tell the truth and tell everybody that would listen that football's horrible for you and you shouldn't play it, or else there's a better than good chance you're going to end up with dementia. Say goodbye to your sport. If that's going to be their defense.
Yeah, it wouldn't be good for youth participation.
You don't think?
But 7-on-7s would go up, and then at that point, it's an adult.
Well, that's going to get us into another conversation, I might add, which would be the end of football as we know it, which we're already, I think, beginning to see. And now there's a new rule, which will lead us to that discussion. We'll do that next. Jeff Cameron Show, 97.9 ESPN Radio.
Sorry, boys, I did not have time to pack.
We got this.
It's right here, guys.
We got this.
I thought I could handle it.
We got this.
Moving doesn't have to be a hassle. Call us first at 2 Men and a Truck. No matter the move, home or business, we'll make it a smooth one.
I forgot something.
We got this.
Landowners, your Mahindra dealer is ready to help you save during Mahindra's Red Tag Sale. Enjoy up to $7,900 in tractor cash back and savings, or utility vehicle savings up to $1,700. Plus, Mahindra's industry-leading warranties still come standard. So hurry in for Mahindra's Red Tag Savings.
TNT. When you're in need of auto repairs, look no further than Nice Tire and Auto Service. Nice has been in business for 16 years with long-term, knowledgeable sales associates. They have the latest wheel balancing machine in the industry. And for passenger vehicles, they service AC, brakes, suspension, tune-ups, and much more. Never sit through a long wait. Nice Tire and Auto has 10 service bays to get you back on the road quickly. If you have tire problems, check out their large inventory with various Goodyear and Michelin tires. Nice Tire and Auto Service, 4792 Bluntstown Highway, 574-4100.
Changer. If you're like me, your life is hectic. Between work, school, your kids' sporting events and activities, well, it leaves you precious little time to kick back and take a load off. About the last thing you want to do is hours of laundry, but there it sits, staring at you, taunting. No more. That's right. More watching, less washing. Save hours of valuable time when you sign up not doing laundry with Easy Laundry Service from Wash Around the Clock. Whether it's dry cleaning or just plain laundry, Wash Around the Clock's Easy Laundry Service will pick up and deliver at your home or office. So sign up for free today at easylaundry.net, or you can give them a call, 850-597-9007. Again, sign up today at easylaundry.net. Oh, and by the way, I got you. Use promo code JCS20 and save 20%. That's promo code JCS20. You're saving 20% on your first order. That's easylaundry.net from Wash Around the Clock.
Tee it up at the Edwin Watts Golf Memorial Day sale this Friday through Monday with huge savings throughout the store. Trade in your old clubs and score an extra 50% trade-in value towards your new TaylorMade club purchase. Save $70 on the Garmin S20 watch, now $129.99. Or pick up 2 dozen Bridgestone Tour B-Series golf balls for $70. Score these deals and more this Friday through Monday, only at Edwin Watts Golf Shops, home of the 90-day satisfaction guarantee. Celebrating 50 years of serving golfers around the country.
ESPN Radio Sports Center.
I'm Doug Brown. NFL owners today approve a new policy for players and other personnel on the field during pregame for the national anthem. Anyone on the field will be required to stand during the anthem. Those who don't want to stand should not be on the field at that time. Commissioner Roger Goodell at the league meetings in Atlanta was asked today why the league felt it needed this policy.
The general public has a very strong view of what respect for the flag is in that moment. We have language in our policy that talks about that, standing at attention with hats off and focused. And I think the general arbiter will be the clubs and the league, and we'll work with our players and get their viewpoint also.
Anyone on the field but not standing during the anthem will be fined by the league, and individual teams can also develop their own enforcement policy. Also today at the league meetings, the NFL awards future Super Bowls to Glendale, Arizona in early 2023 and New Orleans in early 2024. Next year's draft will be held in Nashville. The Celtics and Cavaliers play Game 5 of the Eastern Conference Finals tonight in Boston. The home team has won the first 4 games in the series. In Games 1 and 2, Cleveland shot only 25% from three-point land in Boston. Our Game 5 coverage starts at 7:30 Eastern on ESPN Radio, TV, and the app. 1979 NBA Rookie of the Year Phil Ford had surgery Tuesday for prostate cancer. The doctor treating Ford says the cancer was caught early during his annual physical. Ford left North Carolina as the school's all-time leading scorer and later was a 12-year assistant to the man who coached him, Dean Smith. Stanley Cup playoffs tonight, Game 7 in Tampa for the Lightning and Capitals to settle the Eastern Conference Finals.
Live from the AmeriGas Propane Studios in the capital city of Tallahassee, this is the Jeff Cameron Show on 97.9 ESPN Radio. It's Balls Mick Wednesday. Brought to you by TNT Supercenter, 14585 U.S. Highway 19, Thomasville, Georgia. Your one-stop shop for all your outdoor entertainment.
Jeff Cameron Show, 97.9 ESPN Radio. You know, it was interesting. And it must have been a weird moment that ESPN, when they were today having Louis Riddick on to talk about this issue, he went straight to it and said, quote, unquote, well, the owners are just protecting the bottom line. That's what this is about. I was like, well, there you go. Yeah, that's exactly right. Yes.
Well, and what they did also, which was a nice move on their part, is to say they're going to pass the buck to the teams to actually suspend the players, the teams individually to create their own policies. I'm sure that there is some kind of loophole that creates for NFLPA appeals, that if the teams themselves administer some sort of suspension, then the league itself isn't tied up in a legal matter, but it's the individual owner of a team that is tied up with the NFLPA for suspending a player for actually standing on the sideline and kneeling or some such thing.
I'm going to be interested in the coming days to read all of this as interpreted from lawyers who've read all about the new policy, sure.
But, and somebody pointed this out today to me on social media, sometimes it can be good for discussion, but it's intentionally vague that you are to show up on the sideline and respect the flag. What does that mean? Respect by whose definition? Because there isn't a definition of what respect the flag is. And so how do you litigate that if you're appealing a fine? That's just a difficult thing. As this thing actually carries out and applies to Sundays themselves, all you're doing is you're shifting the stage. Instead of the cameras looking for somebody, scrambling to find somebody. And I was at the Vikings-Bucks game this past year in September when the entire press box, I mean, you talk about people not standing for the anthem. The people in the press box are all just talking to each other and pointing and looking
trying
for
to figure out who is
and getting name and numbers and all that kind of stuff. They're not taking their couple of minutes to just, stand. It's just going to shift the stage to the tunnel for when the player emerges from the tunnel. Do they decide to make some sort of demonstration at that point? Because the cameras will be waiting, and it will either be live or it's going to be on tape delay. And when they come back for kickoff, they're going to show you what happened after the opening kickoff. Well, here's what player X did walking out of the tunnel. Oh, looks like he got into a war of words with a fan there. This doesn't solve the issue. It just changes the stage.
Oh, man. They frequently do things that deflect from what they would really like the attention to be on, and they do struggle to get out of their own way.
Well, my question is, if a player comes out after the anthem is over and performs some sort of demonstration on his way to the sideline, the person who is angered by the flag protests, will they still be angry, or will it not matter anymore because it's not done during the national anthem? Because if you're going by the logic that it's all about the anthem, then you shouldn't have an issue with a protest coming out of the tunnel after the national anthem is over. This should be a non-issue to you. It should be a fine protest. I just wonder where are the talking points going to go when the stage is shifted? That's all I ask.
I certainly have an opinion about what those people are complaining about that goes well beyond they're upset about the anthem.
We'll find out. I mean, perhaps they'll be completely silent if a player emerges from the tunnel and demonstrates on the way over to the sideline. Maybe they won't have an opinion on that at all because now it's not during the anthem.
I guess, yeah.
Or maybe we'll learn it was never about the anthem for either side.
They weren't. So the tackling, back to the actual game itself and whether or not we continue to see the integrity of the game affected by the rules being enacted now as to what you can and can't do with your helmet and what penalties are called and why. Back in March, Tom, they talk about vague. They talked about the lowering of the helmet and the changes to the rules there, and there was some confusion as to whether or not these would also be penalties for offensive players for lowering their head. Have they put forth anything new that helps clarify what's going on dating back to March with the rules about lowering your head?
Yes, because the media responded by approaching the league and saying, well, this doesn't make any sense.
That's
Can you
correct.
explain it out? It's kind of like when we went to go see Doug Rhodes in 2012, something we often reference. And we learned what the ACC is looking for, what they're at least teaching their officials. Because usually it's actually not the referee on the ground's issue. It's the league or the head of officiating that mandates what they can and cannot call or should and should not call. They're just the executioner in that case. They're not the person who comes up with the penalty. Anyway, the media was asking for some clarification, and clarification was given in the form of a seminar of sorts where the NFL put clips of plays in recent years and said, this is a penalty. This isn't a penalty. This is worthy of an ejection. This isn't worthy of an ejection, but it is a penalty, and so on and so forth. And the idea, it looks like, is they're trying to get away from where players lower their chin. Don't even worry about the head in general. They're lowering their chin, and the top point of the helmet is being used in some way for
the crown of your helmet you could never lead with, and that has always been a rule. It's targeting. You can't do it. It's leading with the crown of your helmet has always been in the write-up of that rule, by the way. What I don't understand is this. Okay, so if, in fact, you had the situation where the proposal was players will be penalized 15 yards, may be ejected for using the crown of their helmet. All right, well, that was already in place. Pretty much. They just now I think there's a little bit more like the conversation centering around we need to enforce our standing rules. Like in baseball when they were talking about ways to speed the game up. Well, there are already rules about when you could and couldn't ask for time and step out of the box and all that other stuff. They just weren't enforcing them, dating back to like the 40s.
Right.
So the NFL just started looking a little bit closer at their own rules and saying, listen, we really got to get serious about guys who lead with the crown of their helmet and use it as a weapon and get this out of the game. But it didn't really change anything. I mean, the competition committee, I remember Rich McKay, I pulled up his quote here. This is simply if you lower your head to initiate contact and you make contact with an opponent, it's a foul. If you initiate contact by lowering your head. Well, again, the game is played so fast by amazing athletes that have to adjust on a fly to another player seeking to elude tackle that it's a near impossibility to ask an official to officiate with any degree of certainty as to intent in that situation. I mean, when I'm running up to make a tackle, I got to see what I hit and hit what I see, and all that's true. But I am going to have to lower my head and bend forward if I'm trying to put my shoulder into your gut. And thus, my head is going to be pointed in a way that an official, especially in real time, could think that I was leading with my helmet.
What they're talking about is specifically the ducking of the chin, whereas you're not seeing what you're hitting anymore. So the last second, you duck your head, and now you're looking at the ground instead of what you're hitting that instant before impact. That's what they're trying to take the instinct of a player away to just when we're bracing for impact, I'm going to duck my head. They're trying to say keep your chin up. To the point where even in the trenches, they're going to call this. If a defensive lineman headbutts an offensive lineman off the snap, it's going to be a 15-yard penalty. That, according to Tom Pelissero of NFL Network, who was there for the seminar yesterday.
I'm going to have a hard time, until I see it play out on the field, believing that much is going to change about how officials call the game this year from last. I don't know what else they can do. This has basically already been in place. Do you know how subtle a movement that is and how quick it happens? Those plays begin and end now. It is now. That's how it happens. It's that fast. What official is going to feel comfortable throwing a flag saying, I'm fairly certain he lowered his head in that instant at the moment to initiate a tackle or a block? Or you're just not.
I'm not saying it's going to be easy, and it's not going to shorten games. Most certainly it's not going to shorten games. However, I just did retweet one of the stills that he took from the event. And it's a hit between the Browns and the Colts. And the idea being, again, it's not about your helmet being the first thing to hit a player. It's not about that at all. It's about ducking your head down, and now it's almost as though your chin and your eyes are looking at the ground as you're about to hit somebody. They just don't. It's the spearing idea. What they want is to further clarify you cannot spear. This may be new language where it wasn't needed, but if you do, it's a 15-yard penalty. You got to keep your eyes up. You got to be able to look and see everything you're going to be hitting because they've gotten so far away from it where a running back or a defender will duck his head and then kind of.
I think a running back lowers his shoulder. Low man wins in football at all times. You are always going to be in a situation where the person making the tackle and the person about to be tackled are fighting for leverage and thus trying to get lower than the other. That's how the game's played. You don't want to get trucked, you get low. You don't want to get blown up, you get low as an offensive player. There's just no way around it. That's how the game's played. And so people are going to lower their heads as they lower their body to get low. I get what you're talking about in terms of leading with the crown here. That's always been a rule. Let's say you break your neck, first of all. They teach you never to tackle that way. Nobody. No. The launching stuff I got. You had to get people to stop unnecessarily leaving their feet to use the crown of their helmet under the chin of a player who was above them. That kind of kill shot, they needed to get that out of the game. I got you. That makes sense. But a standard tackle features the lowering of your head. Not leading with the crown of your helmet, but lowering just as a means to get lower. You have to bend at the waist.
But do you still keep your eyes on, say, the numbers of the jersey when you're
Well, this
engaging?
This gets back to something we have been actively talking about, which is if you really want to make a difference, then go back to, the old-timey helmets that are leather or whatever, or get rid of them altogether. Make it like rugby. You sure as hell aren't going to lead with your head when you're not wearing protection.
They're trying to create that form without taking the helmet away. I think it's probably the easiest way to picture it in your mind. Yeah,
they've been trying to do that, and those rules have been in place, and they've had concussion protocol, and they've done the way they've implemented the rule and the proposals, and the way that the emphasis they've asked the officials to put on it. I mean, all of that has already been done. I don't know what else they can do without affecting the integrity of the sport. I also think it's just completely unfair to ask an official in real time to know and discern intent. Good luck with that.
And it's not real time on a Friday night. It's real time at an NFL level and speed. Yeah.
I mean, it's nuts. And, oh, by the way, we'll get real close. We already have a problem in the league where these games last forever. They're over-officiated. Oftentimes we're looking at reviews incessantly. That's the complaint about the league currently, right? Is everything is reviewed. I'm not just talking about did he catch it, was he inbounds, out of bounds, but did he lead with the crown of his helmet? Was that targeting?
A couple of important notes, too, on how this rule is going to be imposed. You can be ejected for doing this, but the terminology is that basically you have an unobstructed path to a player. So it's like you're charging somebody and then deciding to duck your helmet down. See a couple of the James Harrison hits. You'll be ejected for that now. Instead of it being a 15-yarder for launching.
Instead of wrapping.
Right.
Like wrapping.
Right. You can you have a path to the player. You can make a choice and you choose to duck your head and lead with the crown of your helmet. You're going to be ejected for that now. Instead of just a 15-yard penalty.
Got to see it play out. I can understand it. I can read it. I can understand the spirit of the rule. I think until I see it in real time, it's going to be hard for me to understand what they're doing that's any different than what they were doing just a year ago.
One other footnote, and as it comes to delays, because we all hate reviews. The New York, this is according to Tom Pelissero.
Incessant reviews anyhow, yeah.
This is Tom Pelissero. The New York Command Center cannot eject a player for this foul or any other act like it. But New York can review the ejection. So if a player is ejected, it's going to be placed under review. So that's going to take forever. And there is no carryover to the following game if it occurs in the fourth quarter. So the Trey Marshall situation. You're not going to have that. If you're flagged for this and ejected in the fourth, you're playing the first quarter next week.
Referees are now responsible for judging what a player might be able to do. Good luck with that. That ought to be fun. That's not going to lead to further delays and confusion and frustration and anger. Hour number 2, forthcoming. Stay with Jeff Cameron Show, 97.9 ESPN Radio.
Sorry, boys, I did not have time to pack.
We got this.
It's right here, guys.
We got this.
I thought I could handle it.
We got this.
Moving doesn't have to be a hassle. Call us first at 2 Men and a Truck. No matter the move, home or business, we'll make it a smooth one.
I forgot something.
We got this.
Landowners, your Mahindra dealer is ready to help you save during Mahindra's Red Tag Sale. Enjoy up to $7,900 in tractor cash back and savings, or utility vehicle savings up to $1,700. Plus, Mahindra's industry-leading warranties still come standard. So hurry in for Mahindra's Red Tag Savings.
When you're in need of auto repairs, look no further than Nice Tire and Auto Service. Nice has been in business for 16 years with long-term, knowledgeable sales associates. They have the latest wheel balancing machine in the industry. And for passenger vehicles, they service AC, brakes, suspension, tune-ups, and much more. Never sit through a long wait. Nice Tire and Auto has 10 service bays to get you back on the road quickly. If you have tire problems, check out their large inventory with various Goodyear and Michelin tires. Nice Tire and Auto Service, 4792 Bluntstown Highway, 574-4100.
The price and payment in writing. Our new For You program that helps people with damaged credit. And now, to the end of the month, 2 years or 20,000 miles of complimentary maintenance with every new car purchase, plus $1,000 over book value for your trade. Best of all, my people are the best in the business. They will greet you with a smile and a handshake, and they will know your time is valuable. My managers are always accessible, and of course, you can always ask for me or my brother Peter. Bottom line, if you need a new or pre-owned car, you need to experience the Craft difference. Great people, great product, great price, with the best car buying experience in town. Craft Nissan on Mahan Drive between Academy Sports and Costco. And remember, if you don't see the Craft tag on your car, you paid too much, way too much.
Games for Less, the only locally owned and operated gaming store in town, has Tallahassee's largest selection of new and used video games and game systems. The future of video gaming is at Games for Less, where they have both the PS4 and Xbox One. It's time to trade in your old systems and elevate your gaming experience now. Games for Less is also your headquarters for the best in retro gaming. Atari 2600, original Nintendo, Super NES, or Sega Genesis, you name it. They got it at Games for Less. Games for Less, the Super Walmart Shopping Center on Appalachia Parkway. Give them a call today at 850-219-3535. That's Games for Less.
You know what? It's time you level up your lemon lime with new, clear, refreshing Mountain Dew Ice. Why settle for this when you could have this? You want a fist bump that ends in one of those fake explosions?
Hey, Charles.
Or a fist bump that ends in an actual explosion?
Hey, Charles.
Want to pull up to the party on this? Or arrive in this? Make this musical request? Or this one? So yeah, you can keep drinking the same old, but we think you'll like the exploding fist bump, showing up to the party properly way to lemon lime, right? Mountain Dew Ice. Clear, refreshing lemon lime, redefined.
Want to trick your truck for free? Mountain Dew and Dollar General announce Trick Your Truck. Your shot at winning up to 10 grand to trick your truck. Get your free Do Life sticker at any Tallahassee area Dollar General and put it on your ride. Spotters are looking for Do Life stickers now.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks. It's the Memorial Day sale at Ace. The best time to buy a grill from our exclusive lineup of premium brands, like the latest from Weber, Traeger, and more. And right now, get free assembly, free delivery, and free fuel on our top grill brands $3.99 and up. Get the right grill delivered right to your house. Don't miss the Memorial Day sale, happening now only at Ace. Offer valid for Ace Rewards members only. See participating store for scheduling and details. Propane tank not included.
Driving every day from the AmeriGas studios in the capital city of Tallahassee, this is 97.9 ESPN Radio, WTSM, Woodville, Thomasville, Tallahassee.
ESPN Radio Sports Center.
I'm Doug Brown. NFL owners today approve a new policy for players and other personnel on the field during pregame for the national anthem. Anyone on the field will be required to stand during the anthem. Those who don't want to stand should not be on the field at that time. Commissioner Roger Goodell at the league meetings in Atlanta was asked today why the league felt it needed this policy.
The general public has a very strong view of what respect for the flag is in that moment. We have language in our policy that talks about that, standing at attention, with hats off and focused. And I think the general arbiter will be the clubs and the league, and we'll work with our players and get their viewpoint also.
Anyone on the field but not standing during the anthem will be fined by the league, and individual teams can also develop their own enforcement policy. Also today at the league meetings, the NFL awards future Super Bowls to Glendale, Arizona in early 2023 and New Orleans in early 2024. Next year's draft will be held in Nashville. The Celtics and Cavaliers play Game 5 of the Eastern Conference Finals tonight in Boston. The home team has won the first 4 games in the series. In Games 1 and 2, Cleveland shot only 25% from three-point land in Boston. Our Game 5 coverage starts at 7:30 Eastern on ESPN Radio, TV, and the app. 1979 NBA Rookie of the Year Phil Ford had surgery Tuesday for prostate cancer. The doctor treating Ford says the cancer was caught early during his annual physical. Ford left North Carolina as the school's all-time leading scorer and later was a 12-year assistant to the man who coached him, Dean Smith. Stanley Cup playoffs tonight, Game 7 in Tampa for the Lightning and Capitals to settle the Eastern Conference Finals.
Live from the AmeriGas Propane Studios in the capital city of Tallahassee, this is the Jeff Cameron Show on 97.9 ESPN Radio.
Hour number 2, Jeff Cameron Show, 97.9 ESPN Radio. Thanks for tuning to it. I hope you're well. I'm Jeff, that's Tom. Happy Balls McWednesday. By the way, we're online, ESPNTallahassee.com. You weren't sure it was Wednesday, were you?
No, I was.
I saw you kind of look around like, is it Wednesday? Did he get that right?
No, I did one of those where I checked the clock to make sure it's the second hour of the program and I'm playing the right music. But I knew it was Wednesday because I got deeked. I almost played the music, but we have, Wednesday sponsored. So I was like, woo, wait.
You got to do the right thing,
Wait for 15 more seconds. TNT sponsors Balls McWednesday.
Thank you, TNT. I need to come check out the go-karts not the go-karts. That's not the right word for it, right? Golf carts.
Go with the LF on the end, yeah.
Yeah. I do want to go check them out. I haven't been over there to check those carts out. I may want to get one. You should, too.
I should. I don't know where I'd take it, though.
You don't need one where you live just yet. I could drive mine to Killearn Country Club and play some golf in it.
The one frustrating thing about where I do live is that there's no sidewalk on the main street outside of
so
my
you're
complex.
Screwed. You really couldn't use it.
No. And because I'd take it up to the old CP.
Yeah.
I'd say, all right,
that'd be all right.
That'd be pretty G, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Roll to the CP in my golf cart.
I want one, and I want it maxed out. Would it be wrong to use it as an advertisement for this here radio station and program? If I went to TNT and we worked out something to where I had a golf cart like a lot of people have, I live close enough to Killearn Country Club. I'm a member there. So I would use it on the course so they would get advertised and we could put the TNT stuff on there. But then, if I had that giant, for those of you on YouTube, you guys know, this giant, huge Jeff Cameron Show noggin behind me with the ESPN, 97.9 ESPN piece of Scotch tape over my face. If I put that on the side of the cart.
It's a little cruel, by the way. The people who made that, I guess they wanted you to be quiet.
Well, no, I think that's they were being kind of cool that way. They're like, oh, they try to shut him up, but he's a renegade.
That's how you see it.
Yeah,
okay.
That's what I think they were doing.
No wonder you liked it.
Well, it's pro Jeff Cameron. It's not anti Jeff Cameron.
I don't know.
They held it at game day. It's not.
I think it's disrespectful to Jeff Cameron.
We better come up with a unified policy here at
Yep.
97.9 ESPN Radio, right?
Yeah.
Anyhow, so if I got one of those things, then, I would drive it around the golf course all over the place. I'd drive it around the neighborhood. I'd be a menace in that thing.
The Cameron Cruiser.
They'd be like, there goes Cameron again. I really don't like that he's taken to riding around the neighborhood without a shirt on, though. He's really gotten loose with the summertime rules on the cart.
You could have a giant
water balloons I'm throwing at people.
Like a sign on the back that's not quite a bumper sticker, but it says crestfallen that you don't have one. And it has TNTs.
Go to TNT.
There it is.
Tonight's game, 8:30, Boston, Cleveland. Give me Boston. I got him at plus 1.5. I don't know if it's moved since then, but come on. What are we doing?
But you got him at plus 1.5.
Big Daddy J's got him at plus 1.5. Give me the Celts tonight. Undefeated at home in these playoffs. I'll say that continues. They'll take a 3-2 lead. They will then traverse to Cleveland, where they will lose Game 6, and that will be a 7-game series and a lot of fun. I might also note that what Houston did last night gives us hope that series can go 7, and we might get, if not, a series of really tight, well-played, close, hotly contested basketball games. A few very meaningful and always fun Game 7s would be cool. Anyhow.
I should note that 97.9 ESPN Radio has the rest of the conference finals for both series, all the way through from here on to the end. Starting tonight, coverage begins at 7:30 p.m. for Game 5 of Cavs and Celtics, and the number for that game is now Boston -1, so it has moved.
I knew that it would. I thought the public would screw it up, and then I would race in there and take advantage of their LeBron-loving ass, and I would get that that point and a half, and then it would get righted. People would go, what are you doing? Boston hasn't lost in the playoffs at home. They're going to win tonight. So they'll get the money to switch back, which it did. But not before I jumped on it, buddy. You got to get up early. Early bird gets the worm.
Well, or
the point and a half.
I just mentioned the programming note, how we'll have, again, the conference finals right here on 97.9 ESPN Radio. But Game 6s are assured in both series. So you at least get some drama. You get some elimination drama.
Always plugging. I like it. That's good. You do get some drama. You're damn right.
3-2 is 3-2. Even if there are blowouts to get you to 3-2, it's still a
well, last night was not a blowout. It was absolutely entertaining. I stayed up for the entirety of that basketball game and was absolutely shocked. I was on the cusp of going to bed. Golden State's up 10. I'm like, what are we doing here? Fourth quarter. Go to bed. Get some rest, Cameron. That alarm's going to go off at 5:45 in the morning. You're going to be pissed off that you stayed up this late to watch a foregone conclusion. And then Houston hit a shot. Got a stop, forced a turnover actually, came back down, had a good look, missed the look, but then got another stop. So I saw back-to-back stops, very seldom seen from Houston, and I thought, well, they're committed to defense this year in the fourth quarter. Let's see what happens.
Did you stay tuned in, rather, to Inside the NBA postgame after?
No,
I did not.
As soon as it ended, I went to bed.
But after Game 3, there was a person who, because they go to the Twitter reaction, and somebody tweeted at Charles Barkley saying, so is this the point where Charles says that the Rockets will not win another game in the series? Because
he said that after Game 1.
And he goes, he said it after Game 3. He goes, because the guy got cute with him. He goes, you want to bet how much money you got? How much money you got? And I guess Chuck's glad they didn't make the bet.
Yeah.
Because he would have been out a lot of money.
Well, and he probably wanted to because he's been bullish on this all along. And while I think Golden State's still going to win the series, and I thought they'd win this series to begin with, I certainly thought that Houston had a chance to win a couple of games. And I didn't think they'd win last night's game. I thought they were on the cusp of, seeing this be a 5-game series and lose last night. Call it a day because they're not going to win 3 straight, and I doubted they would be able to muster the what-for necessary to force that 6th game, but they won the game they had to win to get it to 2-2 to wrestle back home court, and they did it in a way that we're not accustomed to seeing, especially when James Harden decided to guard somebody, which not once but twice, to his credit. Now, I know he only scored, 6 points in the second half? He's a mess, man. That guy is a mess. He's all at once brilliant at times offensively. He's one of the worst players I've ever seen in the league defensively. Then all of a sudden he shows up defensively and bothers to care, so it's in him, which makes it all the more deplorable all of the nights he doesn't bother to try even a little bit on defense.
That was my point, and it sounds like sour grapes, and I don't mean it to be. It's just objectively true.
Yeah, I don't care one way or the other. I'm not a fan of Houston, and I'm not a Harden hater. I'm just saying if you can do it and then you choose not to ever – well, what are we doing here, man?
That's my point about Ovechkin in the East Finals in hockey. It's like, wow. If I'm a Washington fan, I'm going, so really, you're going to be the best player in all 3 zones.
Yeah.
And your career has been, marked by what?
Yeah.
Offense only? Oh, well, thanks for that, pal. So you've had this in you, and you're in the back half of your prime.
That has frustrated me to no end, by the way, watching him in this series. It's not just that he's the best player offensively. It's that he has been a beast of a player defensively. He's hit constantly. He's mauled Lightning players throughout this series in a way that I've never seen him play before. Good Lord.
Well, and he's had to be, too, because if you actually look at the numbers when the 4th line for Tampa is matched up against Ovechkin, he doesn't have any success. That line doesn't have much success at all. It's power play based, 6-on-5 based.
Well, and our 4th line is awesome.
But that's what I'm saying. So he's had to do other things to maintain his involvement. Now, he's made a couple of great plays that weren't put in the net because our goaltender's awesome. I'm not saying he's not having a huge impact on the game, but it's not like the NBA. In the NHL, the most impactful forward is on the ice for 20 of the 60 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of power plays, maybe 22, 23. The most impactful defenseman for either team is on the ice for 27 to 30 minutes. That's only half the game at most. Whereas in the NBA, Yeah, if you're a superstar and in this time of the season, you're playing 40 minutes.
Where do you stand on whether or not Steve Kerr should have called timeout on that last possession? I understand why he didn't. I understand that he hasn't needed to in the past. I understand why you don't in transition do that. But their spacing was terrible, and I think there was a chance to maybe do that. Obviously, hindsight's 20/20. You say that when you don't get a good look and you don't get a good shot. But I thought it was interesting. He was getting beat up a little bit, and I thought, well, listen, man, this is always the problem that coaches of super teams have. That is the perception that they don't really do anything anyhow because they've got better players than the opponent. So when they win, they don't get credit for being a good coach. They don't get credit for winning. And when they lose, they have to be the sole reason that they lost because you got too many good players to lose a game, which is also not true.
Yes, I think if it was Ty Lue, he'd be getting killed for it.
But Ty Lue has proven himself to be a dumbass repeatedly on numerous occasions, whether it be matchups, substitution patterns, game ones of every series. After they've had time off, they come out ill-prepared, look awful, lose by 30. I mean, that's not listen, that's not – I don't think they're the same thing. It is true Golden State has better players than everybody, and it's across the board. So I get that you're not going to fawn over Steve Kerr. But I'm saying after this game ended, people went, well, Steve Kerr – wait a minute. They blew a 10-point lead at home. Those guys they're the reigning champions. Those players who just won it did so a year ago. They know how to close out games. They missed shots. They didn't get stops. That's not on Kerr.
No, but I do think when Clay gets trapped, you might want to, in that moment, there's about 2 seconds to go. I mean, at that point, the possession is completely screwed. Yeah, well, I mean, there is about 2 when he pumps to Kevin before, shooting the turnaround jumper. When he pumps to KD, there's between 1.5 and 2. That's plenty of time to run a play.
The only thing I thought about was how confused he must have been. Klay Thompson, that is.
Yeah.
What are you doing, dude? Time is of the essence, sir.
Right.
I could hear John Gruden in my ear.
Yeah, okay, so he gets the pass, and KD could have pulled up a 3 right there on the move. There was an opening for that, and you are 6'11", so I don't know that anybody's contesting.
He also hits that with great regularity.
And if he touches you, you're going to get a foul. You're at home. But he kicks it to the corner, and the moment that Clay can't rise and fire in rhythm, I mean, you're at least aware in that moment, ooh, this isn't
That would have
good.
been the moment. That would have been the moment.
But then he dribbles into trouble.
But he got himself in more trouble.
Right. That's when you probably should be alerted when he doesn't take the shot in the first place.
I think at that point you could have called timeout. I'm not saying that there isn't validity to the idea that you could have called timeout when you didn't get the look you wanted, the spacing was bad, and your player looks absolutely confused. It's just that I think he was, and he's never going to say this publicly, nor should he, he doesn't want to roll his player. I'm sure he felt like, well, what in the world are you doing?
He got completely lost.
He got completely flustered.
Yeah.
For a guy with that much experience, championship-level experience, hitting big shots, making big plays, good Lord, sir.
He didn't expect to get the pass. That's the only explanation, is that he thought KD was going to, come hell or high water. If it's stop, dribble out, reset, and fire, then so be it. But I don't think he ever expected to get a pass in that moment. That's what LeBron does. If it's LeBron, everybody be ready. If I'm open, he's going to pass me the ball when the game's on the line. But, it did look like KD was racing to a spot so he could pull up
and shoot. I don't disagree. He did. Klay Thompson, I thought, sir, you're not a freshman in college.
He's got his hands up in the air. All right, KD.
My man, you can't dribble into trouble. And, by the way, don't take your time on this.
Reese is like, huh? What's going on here, Clay?
Oh, Lord. Jeff Cameron Show, 97.9 ESPN Radio.
Sorry, boys, I did not.
Time now for your Atlanta Braves Minute. Brought to you by Fonville, Lewis, Messer, and McConaughey. Personal injury law is all they do.
Last night in Philadelphia, the Braves and the Phillies got together for the second time in this series. Braves are looking for a victory to even up the series at a game apiece after dropping game 1 3-0. They handed the ball to Brandon McCarthy, who's been a Philly killer this year. McCarthy was good, 5 2/3 of an inning, 1 run on 4 base hits, and got a little bit of run support. Ozzie Albies hit a home run in the 3rd inning. Braves also picked up another run in the 5th inning, thanks to a couple of base hits and a couple of errors as well. It was a 2-1 lead for the Braves going into the 9th inning of the ball game. And the Braves are looking for insurance, and they would get it with Ozzie Albies on base and Ronald Acuna at the plate. Hit in the air to center field, darting in Herrera. That'll drop in front of him. Ron Washington waves around Ozzie Albies. Here comes the throw. It's cut off behind the mound. Sliding in head first safe is Albies. A base hit by Ronald Acuna gives the Braves the insurance they were looking for. That made it a 3-1 game, and the Braves would win 3-1. Arodys Vizcaíno nailed down the save with a 1-2-3 ninth, and the Braves now a game and a half up on the Phillies in the standings. Rubber game of this series will be tonight at 7:05 Eastern, 6:05 Central. Luis Gohara for the Braves, Jake Arrieta for the Phillies. I'm Ben Ingram. This has been your Atlanta Braves Radio Network update.
Fonville Lewis, Mr. McConaughey, sponsor.
Sorry, boys, I did not have time to pack.
We got this.
It's right here, guys.
We got this.
I thought I could handle it.
We got this.
Moving doesn't have to be a hassle. Call us first at 2 Men and a Truck. No matter the move, home or business, we'll make it a smooth one.
I forgot something.
We got this.
Landowners, your Mahindra dealer is ready to help you save during Mahindra's Red Tag Sale. Enjoy up to $7,900 in tractor cash back and savings, or utility vehicle savings up to $1,700. Plus, Mahindra's industry-leading warranties still come standard. So hurry in for Mahindra's Red Tag Savings.
When you're in need of auto repairs, look no further than Nice Tire and Auto Service. Nice has been in business for 16 years with long-term, knowledgeable sales associates. They have the latest wheel balancing machine in the industry. And for passenger vehicles, they service AC, brakes, suspension, tune-ups, and much more. Never sit through a long wait. Nice Tire and Auto has 10 service bays to get you back on the road quickly. If you have tire problems, check out their large inventory with various Goodyear and Michelin tires. Nice Tire and Auto Service, 4792 Bluntstown Highway, 574-4100.
Grill from our exclusive lineup of premium brands, like the latest from Weber, Traeger, and more. And right now, get free assembly, free delivery, and free fuel on our top grill brands $3.99 and up. Get the right grill delivered right to your house. Don't miss the Memorial Day sale, happening now only at Ace. Offer valid for Ace Rewards members only. See participating store for scheduling and details. Propane tank not included.
Hi, this is Tom Patterson with Allstate Tom Patterson Insurance. I built our insurance agencies just a little bit different. Of course, we're going to save you money on all the policies that you have, but we also want to make sure you're protected. Because let's face it, if you have a bad car accident, a hurricane comes along, or if there's flood damage, you're not going to call me to talk about how much money I just saved you. You want to know if you're protected. We're going to do just that. Call our insurance agencies at 850-421-1599 to get better protected today and better prepared for tomorrow.
Oh no! My lunch has been ravaged by ants.
Go to Bandito's Burritos.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks. It's the Memorial Day sale at Ace. The best time to buy a grill from our exclusive lineup of premium brands, like the latest from Weber, Traeger, and more. And right now, get free assembly, free delivery, and free fuel on our top grill brands $3.99 and up. Get the right grill delivered right to your house. Don't miss the Memorial Day sale, happening now only at Ace. Offer valid for Ace Rewards members only. See participating store for scheduling and details. Propane tank not included.
Don't just listen to The Jeff Cameron Show. Watch it live. The Jeff Cameron Show Streamcast. Live weekdays 3 to 6 p.m. Head to ESPNTallahassee.com today to watch live or catch up on demand. The Jeff Cameron Show Streamcast. Brought to you by Nice Tire and Auto, your trusted Goodyear dealer.
Nice Tire and Auto, just minutes away from FSU campus.
This is The Jeff Cameron Show on 97.9 ESPN Radio.
I watch the rain, it's settled.
Jeff Cameron Show, 97.9 ESPN Radio. You know what's interesting about that song, Drive By Truckers, is you can hear Jason Isbell. If you go back to the original, that's Jason Isbell with the Drive By Truckers.
That's some country, isn't it?
That's
Americana folk country.
It's Americana, yeah. It's real. It's not the pop.
Well, it's pop. Yeah, it's not pop, but it is. I mean, it is kind of country, right?
Yeah. That's Americana. Yeah. There's nothing wrong with that. No,
sir.
So what I was going to say was with drive-by truck, that's real. Yeah, just got to be careful how we label things. That's what it is. Because, you know, when you say country, people think Georgia-Florida border or whatever the hell that is. Or some such nonsense.
Well, it's Florida-Georgia line, but then when we did the fake list, it was Alabama-Georgia border. When we had the list.
I forgot about the list.
Yeah, the spring game.
Yeah. Anyhow, so beyond that, if you go back and listen to the Drive-By Truckers' first record all the way through the entire catalog, so he's only on, I think Isbell's only on 3 albums. So when he joins the band, you hear him sing a couple songs, and he hasn't found his voice. And that's the first time that you go, oh, he found it. He figured it out. There it is. Boom. And then he takes off from there. Then it's just incredible. It's cool because I thought it was a lot like radio. Like or any analyst that we've seen, or I should say host on ESPN. You know how we've seen people get jobs in this profession and they're terrible?
Yeah.
And you think there's no hope for them, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh, they figured it out. They found their voice. They're good. What's her face was like that? I can't remember. She hosts an NBA show now, I think.
Beetle?
No.
Oh.
No, not her.
Scurvy?
Who's Scurvy?
That's Beetle, because she said she hopes all Florida State fans get scurvy.
Oh, I didn't know that. No. I'm talking about who's the red-haired girl used to be on CNN?
Rachel Nichols.
She could not talk, could not finish a sentence when she first started as a broadcaster. And it was annoying because she was trying to conduct interviews, and I would go, spit it out. And I get it's not easy. I'm just saying she couldn't do it. It was ridiculous. She's good now, really good. I mean,
she's a good anchor.
She does a good job as an anchor now. So you see people grow in the field, and you root for people. I don't know her from Adam. I mean, she could be a nice person, terrible person. I have no idea. But when she first started, I thought, she's terrible. This is awful. What are we doing here? And now when I watch, I go, really good. Really good.
I'll tell you, it happens in writing. Not saying I ever found a good one, but
you just keep writing, and then one day you go, there's the voice.
You'll see the difference.
I got it.
Oh,
yeah. No, it's that. That's what I mean. When you're listening to that song and you hear him sing it, if I would play for you the album before and the album before that, when he sings, you're like, it's just it's not there.
So in my senior year of college, you had to do workshops, and I was in a fiction workshop junior year, and then senior year I was in an article and essay workshop. Same person ended up being in both, and in the fiction one, workshops can be brutal too, and you were encouraged to be brutal. Nobody learns, the idea being you can't be kind, just be honest. And it was rough to go through that one because you're watching, basically 13 people, there are 14 in the class, take turns eviscerating this poor piece.
Yeah.
And then next year, the next piece that this person wrote, an article and essay, I wanted to weep. It was so good. I was like, this is you.
You found you.
You're an article writer.
You found
you
this is what you can do.
Writing for magazines.
Yeah. Just cool when it happens.
Don't write me a novel because ain't nobody going to read that. But this is, it's fun to see that.
It's true of the radio industry. That is for sure. I always joke with you that I would really like to be a consultant. Like if I walk away from this and say, okay, I've done all the broadcasting I can do. I'm tired of hearing my own voice, and I'm sure others are too. So I've said what I needed to say, but I can listen to almost anybody within. I mean, I'll admit it. I'm an expert at broadcasting. I am. So I will say this as to what works and what doesn't. Doesn't mean everybody likes my show. It's just I can tell you what will and will not work.
Well, I think Millar can attest to this. After a certain point of working on this side of the glass for the show, you end up realizing you've heard Jeff Cameron's voice more than your own or anybody else you've ever known.
That's weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you'll be happy when I retire. But the thing
part of me might be, sure.
But then we'll still be hanging out playing golf, and you're like, I can't get rid of you. Yeah. So what I'll tell you is that being a consultant, like I always say, I want to do because it's like stealing. All consultants, by the way. So when you get paid to just listen to something, make a suggestion, and fly out of town and steal their money, it's great. But I would do that if I went around the country, and I think the hardest part would be that the second you hear a person who doesn't have it, and they never will. There are people like that you hear, you're like, that person's never going to make it. And then there are people who are like, okay, we can build on this. You don't need a 3-hour show right now, but we're getting there. Let's put you in a 1 hour on the weekends.
Right, but you're in Albuquerque, so you might, you could be a number one jock in Albuquerque.
You got a little time here. You got a little time, right? But the hardest part is the brutal honesty that is necessary to be able to sit down, like go fly to some market. You don't know the guy from Adam. You don't know him at all. You don't know his sensibilities, strengths and weaknesses, background, anything about him. And then you listen to a week's worth of shows unbeknownst to him. You're in town, and then all right, Ted, let's sit down and talk about what I heard this week. Unless he's good. That would be fun to be able to, you're good. You keep doing what you're doing, and let me just say this, boom.
I'm sure that is fun for the consultant because it's probably not typically the case. You're not brought in to consult for things that are working just fine.
Right. I've only ever had to sit down with twice with consultants to talk about my show, and I can tell you that it's an adversarial thing. It starts that way right from the get-go. It's a little bit like free agency in that obviously the team is going to try to undermine your strengths and point to certain weaknesses in order not to pay you nearly as much money, and obviously your lawyer is going to tout you as if you're Babe Ruth, if it's a baseball negotiation or something along those lines. Somewhere in between is the truth, and the arbiter has to figure all that out. But the person comes in, has never heard your show, doesn't get your sense of humor, doesn't have any idea how it is that you've been able over the course of time to connect with your local audience, might hear a joke that's a running joke on the show that makes sense to longtime listeners, to people who are aware of the fabric that you have woven through the years of doing broadcasting. And so, I don't know why you would have just randomly said, well, hey, dumbass.
Why'd you say suck it, Clemson? That just seems rude. You're a rude person.
Yeah, why would you do that? I really think you need to remove that. No, sir.
No.
Never. Haven't done it in a while, though.
No, but your producer here once got delivery, and on the ticket it said "Suck it, Clemson" smiley face,
which is still one of my favorites.
Yes, because it became such a household thing that they recognized my name when they delivered my food.
That's what you do, and that's not what you do is probably the most recognizable phrase from the show. Maybe that damn Skippy old school from the old school listeners would be.
That's not what you do.
And I have a guy that is a delivery man around town, not underhanded, shady, or
that's what it sounds like.
Yeah, it does. Yeah. No, but he does. I don't want to. I'm not promoting
human trafficking, of course.
Yeah. When you order sex with minors, he drops them off. That's a joke. So the point would be,
is it session?
There you go. That's a good follow up. But what happens is this guy does deliveries of sorts, and he wanted, I think, me to be a member, to pay for this service. But he also wanted me to know he's a big fan, and he was offering some sort of discount. This does seem incredibly shady, but it is not. It is not. And he left it.
I can give you a discount.
He left. It's Michael Langston doing the deliveries. So he ended up.
That does sound like. It's not what I was going for, per se. That was kind of more like Bruce from Family Guy, but, you know.
So anyhow, he dropped off he dropped off the ticket, and he wrote, "That's what you do." Well, I never even got to meet the man, but I was like, "Oh, you almost got me. I'm going to order now. I'm going to get this thing because you're quoting the show. Good on you." All right, that was a road to nowhere. Jeff Cameron Show, 97.9 ESPN Radio.
Sorry, boys, I did not have time to pack.
We got this.
It's right here, guys.
We got this.
I thought I could handle it.
We got this.
Moving doesn't have to be a hassle. Call us first at 2 Men and a Truck. No matter the move, home or business, we'll make it a smooth one.
I forgot something.
We got this.
Landowners, Your Mahindra dealer is ready to help you save during Mahindra's Red Tag Sale. Enjoy up to $7,900 in tractor cash back and savings, or utility vehicle savings up to $1,700. Plus, Mahindra's industry-leading warranties still come standard. So hurry in for Mahindra's Red Tag Savings.
TNT. When you're in need of auto repairs, look no further than Nice Tire and Auto Service. Nice has been in business for 16 years with long-term, knowledgeable sales associates. They have the latest wheel balancing machine in the industry. And for passenger vehicles, they service AC, brakes, suspension, tune-ups, and much more. Never sit through a long wait. Nice Tire and Auto has 10 service bays to get you back on the road quickly. If you have tire problems, check out their large inventory with various Goodyear and Michelin tires. Nice Tire and Auto Service, 4792 Blountstown Highway, 574-4100.
Pick up and deliver at your home or office. So sign up for free today at easylaundry.net, or you can give them a call, 850-597-9007. Again, sign up today at easylaundry.net. Oh, and by the way, I got you. Use promo code JCS20 and save 20%. That's promo code JCS20. You're saving 20% on your first order. That's easylaundry.net from Wash Around the Clock.
Shot, save, rebound, score!
The playoffs are here. The Corner Pocket is your home all spring long for all the heart-pounding moments in the NBA and Stanley Cup playoffs.
It's held in a shot, save, rebound,
The Corner Pocket on Appalachia Parkway next to Earth Fair is your headquarters for Trivia Tuesdays, Beer Bingo Thursdays, and of course, all the moments you'll never forget.
For the championship!
The Corner Pocket Bar and Grill, 2475 Appalachia Parkway. Tallahassee loves the Corner Pocket.
This Day in Sports, brought to you by Superlube, 19 Tallahassee area locations. Quick, convenient, no appointment necessary. Get your history lesson weekdays at 5:30 during the Jeff Cameron Show, right here on 97.9 ESPN Radio.
You know what? It's time you level up your lemon lime with new, clear, refreshing Mountain Dew Ice. Why settle for this when you could have this? You want a fist bump that ends in one of those fake explosions?
Hey, Charles.
Or a fist bump that ends in an actual explosion?
Hey, Charles.
Want to pull up to the party on this? Or arrive in this? Make this musical request? Or this one? So yeah, you can keep drinking the same old, but we think you'll like the exploding fist bump, showing up to the party properly way to lemon lime, right? Mountain Dew Ice. Clear, refreshing lemon lime, redefined.
Want to trick your truck for free? Mountain Dew and Dollar General announce Trick Your Truck. Your shot at winning up to $10,000 to trick your truck. Get your free Do Life sticker at any Tallahassee area Dollar General and put it on your ride. Spotters are looking for Do Life stickers now.
ESPN Radio Sports Center.
I'm Doug Brown. NFL owners today approve a new policy for players and other personnel on the field during pregame for the national anthem. Anyone on the field will be required to stand during the anthem. Those who don't want to stand should not be on the field at that time. Commissioner Roger Goodell at the league meetings in Atlanta was asked today why the league felt it needed this policy.
The general public has a very strong view of what respect for the flag is in that moment. We have language in our policy that talks about that, standing at attention with hats off and focused. And I think the general arbiter will be the clubs and the league, and we'll work with our players and get their viewpoint also.
Anyone on the field but not standing during the anthem will be fined by the league, and individual teams can also develop their own enforcement policy. Also today at the league meetings, the NFL awards future Super Bowls to Glendale, Arizona in early 2023 and New Orleans in early 2024. Next year's draft will be held in Nashville. The Celtics and Cavaliers play Game 5 of the Eastern Conference Finals tonight in Boston. The home team has won the first 4 games in the series. In Games 1 and 2, Cleveland shot only 25% from three-point land in Boston. Our Game 5 coverage starts at 7:30 Eastern on ESPN Radio, TV, and the app. 1979 NBA Rookie of the Year Phil Ford had surgery Tuesday for prostate cancer. The doctor treating Ford says the cancer was caught early during his annual physical. Ford left North Carolina as the school's all-time leading scorer and later was a 12-year assistant to the man who coached him, Dean Smith. Stanley Cup playoffs tonight, Game 7 in Tampa for the Lightning and Capitals to settle the Eastern Conference Finals.
Live from the AmeriGas Propane Studios in the capital city of Tallahassee, this is the Jeff Cameron Show on 97.9 ESPN Radio. It's Balls Mick Wednesday. Brought to you by TNT Supercenter, 14585 U.S. Highway 19, Thomasville, Georgia. Your one-stop shop for all your outdoor entertainment.
Jeff Cameron Show, 97.9 ESPN Radio. Hello. At Jay Cameron Show, every credible preseason magazine has position grades. What grade does the JCSPR firm give FSU? Quarterback, running back, wide receiver, offensive line, defensive line, linebacker, DB. All right, well, I'll do this with you. Just as a form of escapism for a moment, let's go through it. Quarterback. Let's start with the biggest and most focused position or position focused on.
Can we define terms real quick? This is not what we project it's going to be. It's what it is, by the time fall camp starts. And
this is a man named Ryan who listens to the show tweeting at me 3 minutes ago asking a question about what it is we would rate these position groups. Heading into the season. Not projected successes, thus adjustments of grades, but where we are currently. So quarterback, I would say B-.
Right on the money.
Boy, I'm good at this.
Damn it. I was like, I'm about to drop a B-, and he's like, B-.
Quarterback, B-. Tailback. I like to go old school and call it tailback. I'll say A.
A+. You don't get as deep as Florida State.
Yeah, that's. I'm going A+. Yeah, probably A+. A's.
Is A the max?
No, it's just that LeBron and Rasul and guys like that haven't really proven themselves in games consistently. We know their talent level. Patrick is what he is. Now, Cam Akers is a superstar. They'll be an A+ at the end of the year. They're going into the season as an A. Does that make sense?
It makes sense.
All right, you're going A+, I go A. Okay, so now this is where it would be interesting because it's based an awful lot on potential, and we can't do that. So I'm not going to base it on potential. I'm going to go on who the projected starters are. I'm at wide receiver now. Tamaron Terry, Keith Gavin, Naquan Murray. Obviously, people like DJ Matthews and George Campbell, if he's not hurt for once, are going to play. But.
Okay. Were you looking at me? Or are you just debating?
B. B-C.
Woo, okay. I'd say B+.
Well, potential for A here. Don't get me wrong.
Right.
I think it's potential for A, but I'm going to go Terry's never played in a game. So I can't.
But he's not running Jimbo's offense.
I'm just, no. Again, you're talking about potential. I agree. He's going to do great things.
I mean, listen, I'm not trying to be Lee Sterling here, but we have seen the spring game. I mean, he does fit the offense okay, and it looks like in a game situation against some pretty good defensive backs, he has body control, he has burst and speed and all that stuff. We have seen it.
I'll debate that with you. I think he's going to be a great player. He wasn't up against a damn thing in that.
Well, he ran down the board first.
Well, that was cool.
That's incredible.
It's awesome.
And then he also made a hell of a catch. I think he was ruled out of bounds, but in the end zone.
You're projecting all of this.
I've seen it.
You've seen athleticism. We saw it before the season began, and he didn't get in the games. I mean, I understand. Okay, well, anyhow, I'm giving it a B.
Well, and DJ would be a part of a quartet if you're going 4 deep. And DJ's a player.
7 passes last year. Got 7 balls. Or was it 11? Whatever the hell it was. Not many. Oh, he's going to be. I agree. He's going to be. It's tough. It's tough. Still, B is fine. B is fine. That's not like I said C.
No, but you said B-E.
Because the production isn't there yet.
But you're not going to listen, and this is something I'm not projecting. Jimbo's not going to be calling timeouts because they can't get lined up.
No, because he's not here.
Right. That's good.
I'm very excited
for the
about
receivers.
That.
That's a very
it's just
good thing.
Period. I'm tired of calling a timeout only to come out and call a timeout or get a delay a game after the timeout. Sweet Jesus. Offensive line. Ooh, I've got to fight my inclination here.
C-.
Okay. Well. Yes.
You can say D- if you want.
No, I was going to say D-. Landon Dickerson's a real good player when he plays.
What we have seen is that parts of that offensive line that does return for this season, they held up against Alabama all right, especially in pass pro. They didn't get blown out of the water the way they did against Wake Forest by the time injuries had set in and discord amongst everybody.
No real depth, questionable talent, injury prone. Yeah, okay, I'm going to go with C-. That's I think you're being kind, but okay, I'm with you. Healthier and in shape means you don't get a D. Means you're up there in the C with potential to be a B-.
Yeah, I'm saying below average. C is right average, so you're below average at the offensive line.
All right, tight end. Now, I'm kind of excited about tight end, but again, no, we don't know. Trey McKitty hasn't played. Upshur, Vickers, Gabe Neighbors. I mean, whoever you want to name.
Incomplete.
But McKitty's potential is fantastic. I
Sure.
mean, I am very, very excited. All right, so incomplete for tight ends. All right, defensive ends. Ooh, that's a tough one to grade. It's a tough one to grade. So Brian Burns, Wally Ame, Josh Kando, Janarius Robinson.
B?
B-. B-.
I was waiting to hear C+.
That's a tough call. I'm going to go B-. I'm going to go B- with the potential to be a B+.
What is this grade? What is this grading scale? Is this against the whole of college football, or is this against?
Well, that's the way I'm doing it.
Okay, so against the whole of college football, we have a below-average offensive line.
That's correct.
Okay.
Well, okay. How about Power 5 teams?
Power 5.
Top 25 teams. You want to do it that way?
Ooh, well then the offensive line goes down to D, like flat straight.
That's
no,
why
no
I
plus,
was.
no minus.
That's why I was sort of wavering there.
If you're saying against top 25 competition and we can't project, we're just going on what we know.
C- seemed fair.
Okay.
C- seemed
top
fair.
25. Oof.
Defensive ends. B-.
This is against the whole of college football.
This is the top 25.
Top 25.
B-.
B-. Mm-hmm.
Okay, you're with me on that.
Yeah.
Defensive tackle. Now, see, we're going to be all right here. DeMarcus Christmas, lest you forget, comes back.
Yep.
I like Frederick Jones.
Mm-hmm.
Marvin Wilson coming on strong.
That's right.
Right? Got to feel good about that. Yeah. So I'm okay with that. I'm going to give them a B.
Say B+. Christmas is a really good player, and
he is a really good player.
And Marvin apparently
has potential to be a very, very good player.
People have been raving about him.
Yeah, I'm very excited about him. All right, so I don't quibble with your B+. Linebackers, C-, D.
Yeah, you're going to need only 2 of them on the field in most situations, so that helps.
Dontavius can play a little bit.
They like Brown.
And then the rest is us just kind of projecting, right? I mean, it gets tough because, like you said, I mean, what if Amari Gaynor comes in and is good right away?
Yeah.
I mean, it very well could be. Their guy, Emmett Rice is whatever.
Then you got Brown and
Josh
Brooks.
Brown, yeah. So, C-.
C sounds good. Yeah.
Yeah. Doesn't feel great, does it? That's not but let's not forget, I think Woodby will be the star. He's a good player.
Yeah.
We think.
That counts more towards defensive backs.
I guess.
I mean, do you want to do corners and safeties or?
Because I was going to say, what do you want to do with the star and then mix in strong safety, free safety, like the old school?
Well, if you put star in at the linebacker level and just called it a strong side linebacker, then you'd upgrade to a C+ in that segment, I think.
Well, again, though, you're going to ask guys.
I think Homs is built for it.
Okay.
I don't know that you can ask Woodby to do that right away.
Oh, I don't know.
I think
he's kind of freaky.
Well, I mean, if he does, then the projection changes. But as it stands now, I mean,
I like Nazrul Dean. I like A.J. Westbrook. I like Levante Taylor. I like Stanford Samuels Jr. I like Kyle Myers. I like a lot of those guys. Carlos Becker. We got players in the secondary, man.
A-.
Yeah, I think so. That's about the most comfortable I am with a position group.
Yeah, there's just a little bit to show and prove.
What are you going to give Ricky Aguayo?
Ricky
Aguayo's good. Isn't it sad that his name has been tainted by his older brother, who had a brilliant career at Florida State, and yet because what happened in Tampa, we're like, oh, Aguayo. But Ricky's been good.
B. I give him a B.
Okay.
I mean, we need a 52-yarder. What's he doing? Is he making it or missing it?
He's missing that.
Yeah, so you can't give him an A.
Logan Tyler.
He's A one week, C the other.
Yeah, he's up and down. So B minus.
B minus, trending towards the C.
Trending towards a good place, and then the return units.
Who knows?
Well, I tell you what. By way of comparison, they're going to be an A plus from last year to this, because if you have DJ Matthews and Amir Rasul and LeBourne and those guys back there, yeah, okay, let's do some things.
So C plus. You can't go on potential.
Since you can't. They get screwed there because we're not going to be what we were last year, just dancing around like clowns.
So incomplete?
Yeah, that is absolutely incomplete. All right. Anyhow, that was a weird segment, but I don't know. This is a weird 4 o'clock hour. We'll get focused and locked in at some point. But that's fair.
That was fun.
It was fun.
Just needed some music for next time we do it. Get some college football music underneath it. That's some pro music right there.
I could have done it and you just start giving grades.
B minus. Frozen tundra.
You just have to say random things like that, quips that sound
Field
either
general.
I was going to say militaristic or our famous locales for the actual game. It's the Jeff Cameron Show, 97.9 ESPN Radio.
Sorry, boys, I did not have time to pack.
We got this.
It's right here, guys.
We got this.
I thought I could handle it.
We got this.
Moving doesn't have to be a hassle. Call us first at 2 Men and a Truck. No matter the move, home or business, we'll make it a smooth one.
I forgot something.
We got this.
Landowners, your Mahindra dealer is ready to help you save during Mahindra's Red Tag Sale. Enjoy up to $7,900 in tractor cash back and savings, or utility vehicle savings up to $1,700. Plus, Mahindra's industry-leading warranties still come standard. So hurry in for Mahindra's Red Tag Savings.
When you're in need of auto repairs, look no further than Nice Tire and Auto Service. Nice has been in business for 16 years with long-term, knowledgeable sales associates. They have the latest wheel balancing machine in the industry. And for passenger vehicles, they service AC, brakes, suspension, tune-ups, and much more. Never sit through a long wait. Nice Tire and Auto has 10 service bays to get you back on the road quickly. If you have tire problems, check out their large inventory with various Goodyear and Michelin tires. Nice Tire and Auto Service, 4792 Bluntstown Highway, 574-4100.
peppers, 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 peppers. You talk about a peppers, peppers.
I think people are right. Like, who would say it better? Who would you even nominate?
Peppers. Oh, wow.
Oh, wait a minute. Chris summoned some fake Stephen A. Smith, and he got it from his groin.
Peppers. Wow.
Wow, it's pretty good.
Peppers. 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 Peppers.
The Dan Le Batard Show, weekdays at 10 a.m. on 97.9 ESPN Radio. You're locked in with the Jeff Cameron Show on 97.9 ESPN Radio.
You know what would be fun? To head to Las Vegas in June, catch the Lightning winning the Stanley Cup, and stick around for the NHL Board of Governors meeting, in which they will announce that the NHL is indeed expanding, taking a team out to Seattle.
It's happening, huh?
Yeah.
They got the money. There was $600 or $650 million they had to pay.
Looks like it. The date is set now for June the 20th. The NHL is expected to give conditional approval for Seattle to get a team. So, all righty.
Fan-friggin-tastic, man, because now you have an awesome rivalry between two rabid fan bases, naturally, geographically, Seattle, Vancouver.
Oh, man, let's get it on. Plus, I like Seattle. I just wanted another excuse to get out there. By the way, the Hall of Fame there in the Bay Area is going to redo the Brandi Chastain plaque we talked about yesterday. I don't think that they really had any choice. The person who runs that Hall of Fame is a bit of an ass when noting that they asked her to send a better picture, like it was her fault. Come on, my man. Just drop down with the listen. We'll do a better job this time.
Yeah.
Or it's, we made a mistake. Sorry.
Listen, you make a bust that looks 2/3 Jonathan Winters and 1/3, Louis Anderson.
Or
That's your
Peter
problem.
King.
Yeah.
There were so many good ones yesterday, but it was an everyman sort of look, not woman.
Well, it does for those who have Hulu. It looks like Aunt Lydia from Handmaid's Tale. That's what it looks like.
Aunt Lydia?
Aunt Lydia. Great show. Really, not for the kids at all.
No.
Not even close.
Institutionalized problems there, yeah.
It's YouTube. YouTubers just got a show.
Oh, man. Sorry about that. I forgot about that. Cheers. The final hour is forthcoming.
That's a classic.
You're going to go back and watch that.
So I'm going to make a GIF out of it.
Final hour forthcoming. Stay with.
Sorry, boys, I did not have time to pack.
We got this.
It's right here, guys.
We got this.
I thought I could handle it.
We got this.
Moving doesn't have to be a hassle. Call us first at 2 Men and a Truck. No matter the move, home or business, we'll make it a smooth one.
I forgot something.
We got this.
Landowners, your Mahindra dealer is ready to help you save during Mahindra's Red Tag Sale. Enjoy up to $7,900 in tractor cash back and savings, or utility vehicle savings up to $1,700. Plus, Mahindra's industry-leading warranties still come standard. So hurry in for Mahindra's Red Tag Savings.
When you're in need of auto repairs, look no further than Nice Tire and Auto Service. Nice has been in business for 16 years with long-term, knowledgeable sales associates. They have the latest wheel balancing machine in the industry. And for passenger vehicles, they service AC, brakes, suspension, tune-ups, and much more. Never sit through a long wait. Nice Tire and Auto has 10 service bays to get you back on the road quickly. If you have tire problems, check out their large inventory with various Goodyear and Michelin tires. Nice Tire and Auto Service, 4792 Bluntstown Highway, 574-4100.
Announce Trick Your Truck, your shot at winning up to 10 grand to Trick Your Truck. Get your free Do Life sticker at any Tallahassee area Dollar General and put it on your ride. Spotters are looking for Do Life stickers now.
Do you work in construction, photography, or real estate and use a drone for your job? Did you know that the FAA requires you to be licensed? That's right. All commercial use drone operators have to be a Part 107 license. Have questions? Contact the drone experts at TCC's Wakulla Environmental Institute. Go to tcc.fl.edu and search drones or call 850-558-3500. That's 850-558-3500. Remember, the FAA requires all commercial use drone operators to be licensed.
This year, Aaron's Memorial Day holiday weekend event is going to be more memorable than ever because just $5 gets you started leasing to own furniture, electronics, and appliances. And as always, there's no credit needed and free delivery and setup. Participating Aaron stores are open on Memorial Day. Don't miss it. Just $5 gets you started when you shop in-store or online from May 25th through the 28th during Aaron's Memorial Day holiday weekend event. Transaction advertised as a rental purchase agreement. Some restrictions apply. See store for details.
With a loaded roster of young stars, the Braves are going to have a fun summer with some huge National League battles.
Hit high and deep to right field. Did he get it? I guess he got it. Way out of here to right center field with room to spare.
Atlanta Braves baseball on 97.9 ESPN Radio is brought to you in part by AmeriGas Propane of Tallahassee, Bagel Market Bistro, and by Early Trucking Company in Arlington, Georgia. Driving every day from the AmeriGas studios in the capital city of Tallahassee, this is 97.9 ESPN Radio, WTSM, Woodville, Thomasville, Tallahassee.
ESPN Radio Sports Center.
I'm Doug Brown. NFL owners today approve a new policy for players and other personnel on the field during pregame for the national anthem. Anyone on the field will be required to stand during the anthem. Those who don't want to stand should not be on the field at that time. Commissioner Roger Goodell at the league meetings in Atlanta was asked to the anthem. Those who don't needed this policy.
The general public has a very strong view of what respect for the flag is in that moment. We have language in our policy that talks about that, standing at attention, with hats off and focused. And I think the general arbiter will be the clubs and the league, and we'll work with our players and get their viewpoint also.
Anyone on the field but not standing during the anthem will be fined by the league, and individual teams can also develop their own enforcement policy. Also today at the league meetings, the NFL awards future Super Bowls to Glendale, Arizona in early 2023 and New Orleans in early 2024. Next year's draft will be held in Nashville. The Celtics and Cavaliers play Game 5 of the Eastern Conference Finals tonight in Boston. The home team has won the first 4 games in the series. In Games 1 and 2, Cleveland shot only 25% from three-point land in Boston. Our Game 5 coverage starts at 7:30 Eastern on ESPN Radio, TV, and the app. 1979 NBA Rookie of the Year Phil Ford had surgery Tuesday for prostate cancer. The doctor treating Ford says the cancer was caught early during his annual physical. Ford left North Carolina as the school's all-time leading scorer and later was a 12-year assistant to the man who coached him, Dean Smith. Stanley Cup playoffs tonight, Game 7 in Tampa for the Lightning and Capitals to settle the Eastern Conference Finals.
Live from the AmeriGas Propane Studios in the capital city of Tallahassee, this is the Jeff Cameron Show on 97.9 ESPN Radio. It's Balls Mick Wednesday. Brought to you by TNT Supercenter, 14585 U.S. Highway 19, Thomasville, Georgia. Your one-stop shop for all your outdoor entertainment.
Final hour of the Jeff Cameron Show, at least 4 today. Thanks for tuning to it. And a fine Balls McWednesday to you and yours. I'm Jeff. That's Tom. We're online. ESPNTallahassee.com. That's where you go to listen live via the streaming free always. Did it? Don't miss anything. If you do, go get caught up. All 3 hours posted every day upon the conclusion of the program, both on iTunes and in our own audio vault. Be sure and tell others how you found the Jeff Cameron Show on your podcast listening device. And leave a review so others can find it. Email the show if you like, JCS at 979ESPNradio.com. Behind on the emails. Somebody asked me about they were going to Boston and they wanted advice as to where to eat. I think you've probably gone to Boston and come back already. Sorry, sir. I'm an ass. At Jay Cameron Show. Well, we get, you know, what are you going to do?
I'm sure Yelp did a better job anyway.
Well, Boston's a big city, man. You can find plenty of things to do, plenty of places to eat, and I really didn't have any sage advice for you about that, going to Boston. I mean, go experience downtown. Go do the Freedom Walk. Do it all.
Remember the first night we were there and you got your clam chowder and all that stuff, and
Well,
that was
of course,
fine.
yeah.
I actually got steak that night. It's one of
the rare times for you.
I think that's the last time I ordered a steak at a restaurant. But we went to the watering hole after. And remember the bartender had the Irish brogue?
Oh, yeah, he was great.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, he was actually Irish. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
And
there's
the
a lot
Irish
of-
woman who was behind the bar?
Yes, I do recall the whole deal.
Oh, yeah.
It was, yeah.
Impressive.
Impressive indeed. There were cool conversations going on there.
Some serious ones.
Yeah, it was interesting, yeah. Anyhow, so if you email me, we do read them. We get caught up eventually. Sometimes we even read them right when they happen, but it's, you know, a hit and miss. Twitter, it's at Jay Cameron Show. It's also at 979 ESPN Radio. If you want to be a periscoper, you'll find it. On YouTube, it's ESPN Tallahassee. There you go. You know, I was talking about this earlier today. I brought it up not in the same context in the first hour. You know what most disappoints me about Coach Martin not having won a national championship, or FSU baseball, really, not having won a national championship, is it allows for the laziest arguments in the world to take place. And when you see 41 seasons with 40 wins, you know, it's awe-inspiring to look at the active streaks. You know, that FSU baseball tweeted it out yesterday after Florida State's win against Virginia. And it's something to look at that, you know, to see 1978 to 2018. And to see the next closest is Louisville at 7. At 7. And then it's LSU with 6 and Florida with 5 and Dallas Baptist with 4. And so the remarkable consistency and the remarkable campaign of winning baseball that is not approached by any other baseball program in the country, unfortunately, and I mean this from the bottom of my heart, gets largely dismissed lazily because they couldn't win a one-off tournament. Because at no point, Florida State's 0-3 in the championship game one-off. Because the 3 times they've been to the championship game, it was a one-off. It was one game. You didn't win that game. Oopsie, you didn't win the tournament. And because you didn't win that one game, including losing by 1 run, people will dismiss 41 years of excellence that no other program in the country can even come close to. That sucks. That profoundly sucks. Just as a Noel, that I hate that for him. I hate that for the program. I think it's incredibly unfair. It's the easiest argument in the world to make. I mean, to consistently win 40 games, just looking at those numbers again here, every year.
Yeah, it's 41 program years and then 39 for him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, 0-3 in the old one-off title game sees people dismiss that success. Yep, never won that. Nope, he didn't win the one-off tournament thing. He didn't. You're right. He didn't. He wasn't able to win the tournament, the truncated tournament. And others have. Far lesser coaches than him have won that tournament. Lesser coaches have won that tournament more than once. and I think are held in higher esteem and regard as college baseball coaches because of it in a way that really makes very little sense. Now, I get that, ultimately you'd like to see all of that success lead to a national championship. And so I'm not saying that ultimately that's not the goal, or that it doesn't matter if you don't win one. But I think that there's an unreasonable level of resentment, and it's off-putting. And it's usually the kind of thing you hear from people who don't know anything about baseball. And to have to contend with that despite the years of consistently winning in a way that nobody ever has is very unfortunate. Let's just put it that way. It's very, very unfortunate.
Well, chances are you're a yeah-but person anyway, across life. That's not just Florida State baseball specific to Florida State. You're the yeah-but guy. Yeah, it was a 5-star hotel, but the air conditioning could have been better. Only got down to 71. I wanted it at 68.
Yeah, it's not a good way to be a fan. It's also not me being unreasonable in that I'm not summarily dismissing the frustration people feel with not having won a championship. I'm talking about the degree to which that's brought up above and beyond the years of consistently winning more baseball games than any other program in the history of the sport.
Right, like you can't enjoy him breaking the all-time wins record, or you can't enjoy when that graphic is put up on a screen.
It pisses you off.
Right.
Right, that's what I mean. That's my counter to that person is, what's wrong with you? You're viewing, well, frankly, I would guess you're right, Tom. The lens by which they view the world is probably that cynical. And I could be cynical and jaded with the best of them about a lot of things.
Most certainly.
Yeah. About a lot of things. I'm not attempting to open the hour with a soapbox moment. It's just I overheard somebody yesterday, and I thought, you can't. They just won on a walk-off. It's an exciting win. It is what it is. I'm not going to overstate what the win is. I mean, it's a first-round game of the ACC tournament against Virginia, whom you should beat. But what it did was bring you to that 40-win plateau again, and rightfully that was acknowledged. It was acknowledged as yet another benchmark having been reached and another successful, overwhelmingly successful season. And I thought about it singularly. I wasn't looking big picture. I thought, man, in a year where you lost your ace and probably your 5 or 6 hole hitter all in one, the first game of the season, that's a good campaign right there. You're relying on a lot of freshmen. You lost a lot from last year's College World Series team. Win 40 games again and put yourself in a position to win a national seed. That's a good year. And that's all I thought. That's the first thing I thought of. And then I took a step back and thought, how hard it is for a program, or for a man in this case, to win at the level that he's won at. And I didn't realize the dearth of teams that weren't even, I didn't know that the next closest streak was in single digits.
Active, but yes.
Active,
yes.
That's what I mean, active. Yeah, single digits. That's crazy. And I thought about the people that had won championships that then weren't going to make the postseason. Not 40 wins, not host a regional, not make the postseason.
Yeah, let's just say we stopped winning 40 games and it ended next year. If Louisville actually went the distance, you'd be pushing 80 by the time they finished the job.
Yeah, it's hard to fathom. It really is. And I think that's another reason why it doesn't get appreciated to the degree that it should. And I can hear people now. I got it. I understand. There are Martin detractors, and I'm not saying you can't be. We disagree to varying levels on this issue.
You'd be 82, actually, wouldn't you?
I'm not going to see it, Tom. I doubt it. I hope I make the 82, but
82, that's reasonable.
Yeah, but Louisville's not going to get there, is what I'm saying. So I'll never see it.
But you'll see 82.
I'll see 82, but I'm not going to see Louisville getting there. They're not going to do it. I just, when you think about, Virginia, the team we beat yesterday, they game over 500? And they won a national championship a few years ago.
Well, but here's the thing. This is where, for me, when I hear these talking points, I go, dude, even if we won it this year, that particular type of fan would say, well, he finally got lucky and ran into one. It wouldn't even be satisfying. The argument wouldn't end. You would just change the footing upon which you're making your argument. It doesn't change a damn thing. So it's like the guy that you play in one-on-one basketball or in anything in life, and he never lost. He never lost a game. Now, he may come up short, but there's any number of reasons as to why. And we're not talking about good game, you beat me. Not that guy. Right. That guy has never lost a game he's ever played in his life. Something happened. Something weird happened. So if he wins one, that part of the fan base isn't all of a sudden going to have some sort of weepy reunion with Florida State baseball, the program, and Mike Martin, the man, that they've watched for the last 40 years. It's not. No, they'll say, well, he should have won more. Yeah, he got one, but he should have won more. It will never change. That person will never be satisfied.
I think that's probably true. I'm not talking about either. Like, listen, I know Mike Martin, but I don't know Mike Martin the way that, I know you and you know me, or Mike Martin and I, we've been professionally, Mike, I would say this about Coach Martin, excuse me. I'm friends with Mike Martin Jr. I know Coach Martin well, professionally. But I don't, beyond that, I mean, I'm not at his house for barbecues, and, me and my family aren't hanging out. So I don't know him intimately in that way. So when people come up to me and they say, oh, I love him, he's the nicest guy in the world, or I really don't like him at all, I think he's a phony, or everything in between, okay? I just gave you extremes, right? I never speak to that. I never do, because I don't know him that way. I know the man that I've worked with, or, worked alongside in some capacity in this media for 20 years, and he's been nothing but professional with me. And I know the man that has amassed 40 wins every year he's been here. I mean, I know what that, because I watch it and cover it, and I know what that is. And so just assessing it in that way and removing all the other things, people's feelings and the politics of baseball in this town and all that stuff, right? There's just no denying. Like, there's nothing you can say that would make any sense to deny the standard of excellence that is run out there every year, and to not acknowledge that because he didn't win a tournament is just dumb, is really, really dumb, profoundly dumb, and short-sighted and foolish. And I think you're right. I think, let's say they won it this year. They're not going to. I don't think they're good enough. But it is a truncated tournament. I mean,
worst teams have won it.
Worst teams have won it. You could get out there and win it. I mean, lots of teams have won it that had no business winning it, and they certainly weren't coached better or anything else. If it happened, you're right. I think those people, they would almost not know what to do.
No, they just say didn't win enough. Well, that's fine. You know what? It was bound to happen.
About
40
damn
years.
Time, all those times.
One time, 40-plus wins, 41 years in a row, and this program could only generate one?
Yeah, I think that you're right. Those people would exist. That's what yesterday's win was. It's nothing more than that.
There's also logic to that point. It can't completely undo all of the good. I mean, you could say that we should have won more titles under Bowden, and you'd be correct. You would be 100% correct.
It's also a different discussion. It is a very different discussion. And that's the other thing. We can't equate these things, but people do. Our fan base loves to equate everything to football anyhow.
But what I'm saying is you'd be right to say that, but you'd be a fool to think that that was some sort of failed tenure at Florida State. You'd recognize the greatness while also having,
I think
unbalanced discussion.
I think Bowden should have won more titles, period. He should have. I don't know that there are too many Florida State fans, alumni, and supporters of Coach Bowden and the university and the football program that would say otherwise.
Right, and you can say that Martin should have won more titles.
Martin should have won a title by now, although the randomness of baseball is very different than what we're talking about: bigger, stronger, faster, better players, deeper lineup in football.
Yes, but if you put the best team, or you put this consistent of production out there 40 times, 41 times as a program, 39
they
for him.
They've been to the College World Series 40 times.
No, but you know what I'm saying. What I'm saying is if you do that often, by now.
Yeah, but I would argue, and you're a baseball guy, so you know this. I mean, honestly, that doesn't mean you should have. You would like to think the odds would have said at some point that would have produced a title. I agree. But there are very few instances where you would be able to argue that because he didn't do this, we lost a championship.
Yeah.
Now there are a couple.
Maybe
times,
a couple.
There are a couple
Yeah.
in the '90s that I have an opinion in which I think he screwed up.
Mm-hmm.
But there are times they just got beat. Well, baseball was baseball.
Well, he's out there 17 times. You have a 1 in 8 shot. I mean, that's very simplistic because baseball. I get it. It's a lot more complicated than that. But I think it's fair to say. I mean, I don't want to go the other way and say that you can't criticize the man and say that we should have won more titles. We should have. But that doesn't rob you from the ability to look at the positives.
Now, see what happens with that argument is always that, well, you can't win the big game. Well, you can't win as much as he's won and not win a big game. You would have had to have won regionals and super regionals and games in the College World Series to advance. Those are all huge games.
I don't think it's being political to marvel at the accomplishment and the consistency and to say he should have done more in Omaha. You could say both of those things. That's just correct.
You can say both those things.
But you don't have to. I'm not looking at Mike Martin's tenure as a failure.
Well, no, I think that you're
but
not.
But I'm also saying that,
but
that
there
it
are,
lacks.
But there are people who certainly do.
Of course.
Or that they didn't win a tournament at the end of winning all those games in the season, and that not winning that tournament is a referendum on the entirety of his career as a failure. I mean, that's what they would view it as.
Well, you just want to be dramatic at that point if you're going to say it undoes all the good that and all the successes we've had here. It's really not a hard concept.
It's not. No, I just think it's, and really, I'm probably prattling on way too long with this. My thought was that they reached the 40-win plateau again yesterday. That in and of itself didn't have me weepy or anything else. What I thought was, wow, what a good year. And oh my, he's done that every year. And that is really something to behold. And oh, by the way, now that I'm looking at these stats, it's even better than I realized. And what a career that guy's had. To know that that is immediately met with, oh, but hold on, is ridiculous.
The Departed, right?
Right.
The movie, we just talked about this.
Yes.
Poorly edited. Great dialogue and acting.
Yeah.
The great dialogue doesn't make it a perfect movie. The poor editing doesn't make it a crappy movie.
Right.
It's a movie that has some
bad
movie.
stuff. It's a good movie.
Some great stuff.
Well, and the oddity there is that Martin Scorsese has made many better films that didn't win him an Academy Award. That one did, though.
Right.
I mean,
sure.
What are you gonna do?
But one bad facet of that movie doesn't make it a piece of crap. And then Nicholson and
it's the extremism that we talk about. That there isn't room in the gray areas to have a conversation, which there is. I mean, most things are. Most things are there, right? That's like it's like the conversation, and let's continue this because the NFL enacted rules, and I will touch on that here in a second. But once again, to kind of get back to where this started, and is to make me laugh at this idea that it wouldn't be unwise for us to unmarry our sports and patriotism. They're not the same thing. They don't go together. It's dumb.
Well, they never did until they were paid for.
That's right. Paid for. Millions of dollars. Sure. Jeff Cameron Show, 97.9 ESPN Radio.
Sorry, boys, I did not have time to pack.
We got this.
It's right here, guys.
We got this.
I thought I could handle it.
We got this.
Moving doesn't have to be a hassle. Call us first at 2 Men and a Truck. No matter the move, home or business, we'll make it a smooth one.
I forgot something.
We got this.
Landowners, your Mahindra dealer is ready to help you save during Mahindra's Red Tag Sale. Enjoy up to $7,900 in tractor cash back and savings, or utility vehicle savings up to $1,700. Plus, Mahindra's industry-leading warranties still come standard. So hurry in for Mahindra's Red Tag Savings.
When you're in need of auto repairs, look no further than Nice Tire and Auto Service. Nice has been in business for 16 years with long-term, knowledgeable sales associates. They have the latest wheel balancing machine in the industry. And for passenger vehicles, they service AC, brakes, suspension, tune-ups, and much more. Never sit through a long wait. Nice Tire and Auto has 10 service bays to get you back on the road quickly. If you have tire problems, check out their large inventory with various Goodyear and Michelin tires. Nice Tire and Auto Service, 4792 Bluntstown Highway, 574-4100.
New Club Car golf cars at TNT Supercenter are $27.99, including the charger and windshield, only at TNT Supercenter, and only while they last. Just $27.99, zero down, and low interest financing available with approved credit, and delivery is free from Valdosta to Tallahassee, US 19 South, next to the Dairy Queen in Thomasville. View inventory and pricing at TNTSupercenter.com. TNT Supercenter, Thomasville, Georgia.
Hey, we're checking in with Joe over at Truck and Car Concepts. What's going on, buddy?
Hey, man, how you guys doing today? It's an awesome setup here at Truck and Car Concepts. You come in here, it's your one-stop shop. You can get it all taken care of. Window tinting, pinstriping, graphics, you name it, Truck and Car Concepts does it. And we've also got those bolt-on accessories that makes the truck look nice. We've got grill guards, we've got brush guards, stainless steel Nerf bars, lifetime warranty on those. And again, the spray-in bed liner is going to make it worth your while.
You're talking about putting a few of these things on there, and you're going to increase the value of that vehicle.
Well, you will, and not only are you going to do that, but you're going to make it look nice. It's going to customize it for your own personality and your own wants and needs. Some guys like it jacked up. We also do lowering kits.
There's only one place in town that's going to be able to truck it up then.
That's right. That's Truck and Car Concepts.
Truck and Car Concepts. 1 block east of Weems Road on Mahan Drive, across from Kraft Nissan. Call 656-8800. Come on, say it with me. 656-8800.
Destination Real Estate in Tallahassee reminds you, every 3 minutes a woman in the U.S. is diagnosed with breast cancer. Though the exact cause is unknown, the biggest risk factor is age. The best way to protect yourself is with the scheduling of your annual mammogram. This message is from Destination Real Estate in Tallahassee, locally owned. Call 445-5129. Visit TallahasseeDestination.com and like them on Facebook to view foreclosures, local listings, and 100% financing information.
Fonville Lewis Messer McConaughey sponsors Braves baseball so that all of you can enjoy the action. Ever since the days of Hank Aaron and Dale Murphy, we've been Tallahassee's home run hitting law firm. And because we don't get paid unless we win, we want to win every case as much as Chipper Jones wanted to win every game. So when you're injured, don't just trust any law firm to handle your case. Make the call to the bullpen for a trusted closer. To see our stats on the back of our baseball card, visit wrongfullyinjured.com. Fonville Lewis Messer McConaughey. Personal injury law is all we do.
An eager young FSU marketing major came into Poor Paul's the other day and told me what a genius he thought I was for having such great specials, like the free ladies' drinks on Tuesday nights, the free Gumby's pizza and $4.95 pitchers on Sunday and Monday night, and the cheapest prices in town every other night. And not to mention, all the free beer people wouldn't spit in the wheel of fortune. He asked me if I'd studied marketing, and I told him I had, but what I didn't tell the poor guy was that in 4 years, I didn't learn a damn thing in any of my classes. Most of my business philosophy came from observing a girl named Bunny, who lived across from me and was, let's say, working her way through school. You see, Bunny had a great service, sold it at rock-bottom prices with a smile, and had hundreds of happy customers. And aside from that little red light in her window, all her advertising was simply word of mouth. So I didn't see the need for all those charts and graphs and formulas. I knew all I needed to be successful were the Bunny marketing methods. Sell really good stuff, cheap, with a smile. And that's why, just like at Bunny's, there's always a big crowd at Poor Paul's wanting to spend their money. And that's why that poor kid thought I was so smart. Who's your buddy?
This is the Jeff Cameron Show. Jeff Cameron Show on 97.9 ESPN Radio.
At this late hour in the show, I know because I feel it too, but I can only imagine you, buddy. It's starting to bubble up.
Yeah. Ever since I opened my eyes today, I thought, oof.
Yeah, man, it cracks me up.
These things change, and that's what I'm trying to remind myself today. In fact, I talked with Tim Linnefeld earlier today, and he said to me, and I think he meant it in the most nice way. He's like, I've been through a lot of these. I was like, yeah, nice, okay, I get it. Pittsburgh Penguins fan. You know, in my experience, things don't really carry over from game to game. I'm like, well, I know that, man. My team's lifted a cup. I've been to a finals in 15. But I totally agree with him. The sentiment, and I appreciate that he was trying to calm my nerves because I did sound nervous on the phone. But you look at any of these situations that the Lightning itself has been in like this. In 04 for the Cup, in the Eastern Conference Finals, you lose Game 6, come back home for Game 7. In the Cup Final, you lose Game 5 at home in overtime. You're down 3-2. You're going across the continent up to Calgary, down 3-2 in the series. And it's Calgary's first chance at a cup in 11 years. That is the lowest of low points. You lose in overtime in an all-important Game 5? Good gracious. And things turned out okay. And on the flip side, been up 3-2 in the East Finals 2 years ago. Feeling pretty good about coming home. Lose that game and lose the series. It's amazing. Things can just flip on their head at a moment's notice. So, yeah, at 8:12 tonight when they're getting ready for the anthem, it's there it is. I'll be kind of just quiet. When these games,
yeah, you stay quiet. I
don't say a friggin' word.
Oh, I'll say a word if we hit the post.
Well, sure, like
word we
one
can't
word.
repeat. Yeah.
But in terms of usually I'm pointing things out, and I'm just talking to myself when I'm pointing things out.
Right.
I'm asking the players through this box that has the picture on it to do something.
that they're not currently doing.
Well, as though they can hear me.
And that they're probably unaware they're not doing. It's just something that we can observe and see that if they only knew they weren't doing, they would get to doing.
Right. I'm the guy in the stands. I'm like, he can't hear you. Well, you're just doing this for yourself. Well, in Game 7s, I'm like Jimbo when he talked about Jameis.
At that point, you just got to
shut my yap and, I realized that we're watching something important here.
The NFL finally, I guess, took a stand. They had to do something. They were kind of stumbling over themselves per usual. They often can't get out of their own way. That's typically the problem with Roger Goodell in the NFL. I was laughing because I thought of this before, that no matter where you stand on the or Neil on the anthem issue, I thought, boy, the NFL would be wise to have a policy that they stood behind one way or the other. They should probably have something in place.
Whereas other leagues just had a policy and always have had a policy.
Always had one, right? Yeah. Mm-hmm. They may want to go ahead and have a policy so that there's no real confusion here. It's what it is. You can disagree with it, but it's policy.
Well, or a policy that predates these, societal issues.
Right,
yes.
Right. The 32 member clubs of the National Football League have reaffirmed their strong commitment to work alongside our players to strengthen our communities and advance social justice. The unique platform that we have created is unprecedented in its scope and will provide extraordinary resources and supportive programs to promote positive social change in our communities. The membership also strongly believes that, 1, all team and league personnel on the field shall stand and show respect for the flag and the anthem. 2, the game operations manual will be revised to remove the requirement that all players be on the field for the anthem. 3, personnel who choose not to stand for the anthem may stay in the locker room or in a similar location off the field until after the anthem has been performed. 4, a club will be fined by the league if its personnel are on the field and do not stand and show respect for the flag and the anthem. 5, each club may develop its own work rules consistent with the above principles regarding its personnel who do not stand and show respect for the flag and the anthem. 6, the commissioner will impose appropriate discipline or league personnel who do not stand and show respect for the flag and anthem. And that's their new policy. So if you don't want to walk out onto the field for the anthem, you don't have to. If you are going to be on the field for the anthem, you must stand. End of policy discussion, basically, is what that is. Now, lest we forget, Roger Goodell works for the owners, okay? And this is about money. This isn't about the flag. And we know this. This is not my opinion. In 2015, the Department of Defense paid the NFL millions of dollars for things like military flyovers, flag unfurlings, color guard ceremonies, state-enlisted campaigns, and national anthem performances as well, and paid for them, paid dearly millions of dollars as a means of promoting the United States military in order to get people to join. And they paid the NFL that money with the understanding that we will do all that we can to promote the United States of America, its armed forces, and those serving. And the NFL is going to continue to do that. They like that money. And they like to continue to make money. And they don't like things that compromise their ability to continue to make lots of money. And the second that was deemed as such, you knew a ruling such as this would be doled out. And that's what's happened. Now, it's nothing more than that. It's not because the NFL cares about American soldiers. It's not because Roger Goodell and anybody that works for the NFL does or does not care about this country, its servicemen and women, its history, or patriotism. It has nothing to do with that. It has everything to do with money. And that's it. That's all. It's not really argumentative. That's a fact. We know that. Investigations prove that. The millions of dollars the NFL received is why they had the ceremonies that they did. It's why they draped themselves with the American flag and engaged in fake forms of patriotism, which I've been calling them out on, by the way, for years, long before people knelt or protested in any capacity. You know, as a listener, Tom, back in the day, this was a talking point. I brought this up with Matt Millar, and it made him very uncomfortable. I hated how the NFL began to marry football with forms of patriotism and the American flag. I said, boy, nobody drapes themselves in the American flag like the National Football League. Back then, I didn't know why. I didn't know what was going on. I had no idea they were being paid to do so. When that was unveiled, when that was revealed, I realized, oh, well, it all makes sense now. Their form of fake patriotism was bought and paid for. Got it.
Yeah, we had this discussion back in 2009 on the roof at Florida State games. You know, that every single break included some sort of, event. And you thought, wow, okay. This isn't like Veterans Day weekend or anything like that, but here we go. I got no problem with honoring the country for the right reasons. Of course not. And honoring well, that's like you're not supporting. Who doesn't support the troops, first of all? Who doesn't?
The NFL's policy on the national anthem in terms of the way that they handled players standing and being a part of ceremonies on the field, it changed in 2009.
Right.
In direct conjunction with the millions of dollars that they were being paid by the Department of Defense.
Well, my whole thing, too, is I would just appreciate it, and I don't think it would even change it for the people who it means something to, right? As long as there's a big watermark that says paid for by the United States, whichever Department of Defense or the Army or the Marines or whichever entity it's going to be for a particular game, as long as that's present on the television screen while you have a broadcast national anthem or when you're in the stadium and it's on the Jumbotron, I got no problem with the money exchanging hands. It's just that most people didn't know that the money exchanged hands.
Well, and I'm just reiterating that point now for those who didn't. And if you don't know, in 2015, Arizona Senator Jeff Flake and John McCain, Republicans, revealed in a joint oversight report that nearly $5.4 million in taxpayer dollars had been paid out to 14 NFL teams between 2011 and 2014 to honor service members and put on elaborate, quote, patriotic salutes to the military. This is not my opinion.
Right, it's advertising.
The person who's driving down the road is like, wait a minute, Cameron. No, this is not an opinion. I'm reading to you from the report.
It's not even a political issue. It's just about an advertising buy. That's the whole thing. Like, so when we give away a free pizza, at De Kaiser, there's a pizza box and it has a brand name on it, right? That's the whole point of the promo.
Yeah. So
my whole thing is, as long as it just says it's paid for, I think that would make everybody feel a little bit more on the up and up here, because it's not considered to be that. It's almost like it's an understood. But if you look at the history of national anthems before major sporting events, it didn't happen before every event.
No.
It started in the Vietnam era to be played after every or before every single game because the country at that
was
time
divided, as it currently is. I get it. Again, many of the people whom you talk to, not all, there are plenty of informed people out there, but many of the people that you talk to about this issue, it's always interesting for me, just interesting. I'm not being condescending, to hear their frustrations and their arguments. But the problem I have is that, generally speaking, it's centered around something that never happened or isn't the root of the issue. The players aren't protesting the flag, and they're not protesting the United States. They're not protesting its history, its servicemen, the different branches of the military. They're not protesting that. So when you begin to hear that argument, right from the beginning, we haven't defined our terms properly, nor do the people know why the NFL ever began to do this in the first place. And it was only because they were paid to do this.
Right. Now, the nuanced argument usually begins with somebody who says, well, it's a place of business and they can dictate what the workers will do and won't do.
Yeah.
And that's what today is about.
Right.
Is here's a policy for you.
Right. Well, they were one of the last leagues to have a policy.
Right.
So that's why I said at the outset of this that I was shocked that they didn't have a policy to begin with. Because at least you'd have you'd have the rules in place. You'd know what you could and couldn't do.
That was a talk before the NBA season last year was, well, what's going to happen in the NBA? And the answer for the analyst was, well, they have a rule, so people are just going to...
Yes, right.
People are going to follow the rule. One thing about the military spending on games, again, as long as there's some kind of, this is paid for, it's almost like a political message.
No, my problem isn't with the military doing that and paying for that to drum up interest in enrollment in the Army, the Navy, the Air Force, the Marines, whatever.
Yeah.
Fine. My problem is with the NFL, taking millions of dollars and then not noting that the reason that they feel so strongly has nothing to do with patriotism.
No, I agree with you 100% there. All I'm saying is I would just prefer it be clear as that there is money exchanging hands here, because we do it for every other facet of business. It's like you have to disclose that this is happening.
This is an advertisement, yeah.
Yeah. And then, well.
Anyhow, so no, we've vetted it. I mean, that's the policy. That's what's going to happen. You'll hear a lot of talk that range all over the map, and just so you know, that's the deal.
I don't even think of it as seedy as long as you declare what you're doing. It was because people didn't know that that's what was happening, but whatever.
My argument, it's not seedy. The argument is that the NFL is completely, and the people that run it, disingenuous. And that's exactly what they were all of this time. And it's not about anything besides money. I'm not saying to you that there aren't people in the NFL who feel strongly about standing out of respect for the flag, the servicemen and women, and those that have died for this country. I'm sure many owners do feel that way. But none of these policies or controversies surrounding that event were born out of a real sense of patriotism. Born out of being paid. It's money. It's about losing money or making money.
Right.
That's it. That's all.
Well, and if it was about that, then you'd say we refuse to take another cent for national anthem or any other military proceedings that occurred during the game, and we're going to continue in that tradition because we're all Americans here.
Yeah.
That's the PR release you'll never see.
Because it's not about that.
But the one thing I will say, the means and the ends, right? I don't care what the means are, as long as there are still family reunion moments at games. I don't care that that's being propped up and it's a recruitment tactic.
They're awesome.
Every single one is phenomenal.
Every single one makes me cry. Every single one is touching.
It means everything to the family on the field. So I don't care if that's an advertisement. You keep doing that, and please do more of them, because every single one means
It'd be
a lot
nice
to
if they
families.
were just done out of a true sense of.
Well, they're not. But
of course not. That's what I mean. But the people who argue.
But keep on doing whatever. Hey, keep paying for those.
You know what else never gets old is the soldiers that come back and surprise their kids in the classroom. Never gets old.
Right.
Every time I see that footage, I'm like, oh, they got me again.
Wouldn't you be the first NFL team to just, start facilitating those by the dozens?
Yeah, it'd be a PR move, but
But it means everything to. That's where I don't care about the means in those moments. The ends absolutely justify the means.
Yeah, and I know that there'll be people who misconstrue our conversation just now or think they know my stance on that. But it's just I never stand tall for the National Football League. I can tell you that.
Well, yeah.
I mean, the hypocrisy in that league is legendary.
I don't mind sharing my stance very briefly. I believe in respecting the flag because my father served in this military and it meant a lot to him, and so too it means a lot to me. However, if somebody else doesn't feel that way,
right? Well, that's
the reason the flag exists in the first place.
Exactly.
I disagree with them vehemently of choosing the time and place that they choose. However, I can't call them un-American for doing so.
Well,
that's the whole point.
It's actually very American.
That's the whole point.
Yeah. No. Your father, my father, very similar backgrounds in that sense, right? And my grandfather as well, and my brother who served in the Air Force.
You stand. You show freaking respect. Yes, 100%. That's the way I was raised.
Yeah, well, we could have a greater discussion about this because I think that we're very similar. I'm not 100% where you are with that. I'm not saying that I would kneel, but I do understand certain times and places where that form of protest is very effective.
Oh, it worked. Of course it worked.
Yeah. And that's the point of protest, right? Is to draw attention to something. And it has to be done in a way that would maybe even startle.
Well, and the disqualifier is, you know what? I agree with the cause.
Yeah,
it's like, oh, well, screw you. It's just time and place does matter.
Everybody's got their opinion on that, and that's beautiful. That is very American.
Right.
Absolutely it is.
But here's what the NFL did. They didn't solve anything. They didn't solve anything at all, because guess what happens now? When the player emerges from the tunnel?
What? They're going to get booed because they're going to know that's why they didn't come out.
But what if there's the demonstration as they come out the tunnel and it turns into a WWE-style entrance, and now you have fans throwing stuff at players?
Let me tell you what cracked me up with this. At least they didn't go forward with the dumbassery that I was reading about early this morning over coffee, which was that they were going to throw a flag and it was going to be a 15-yard penalty if you were kneeling. And then I thought, well, by the way, you just guaranteed both sides are taking a knee, because then what are you going to do? This is offsetting penalties.
How many people?
This is what.
Now we need to go to New York for a review and see how many people were kneeling.
The NFL. That's good stuff. Jeff Cameron Show, 97.9 ESPN Radio.
Sorry, boys, I did not have time to pack.
We got this.
It's right here, guys.
We got this.
I thought I could handle it.
We got this.
Moving doesn't have to be a hassle. Call us first at 2 Men and a Truck. No matter the move, home or business, we'll make it a smooth one.
I forgot something.
We got this.
Landowners, your Mahindra dealer is ready to help you save during Mahindra's Red Tag sale. Enjoy up to $7,900 in tractor cash back and savings, or utility vehicle savings up to $1,700. Plus, Mahindra's industry-leading warranties still come standard. So hurry in for Mahindra's Red Tag savings.
When you're in need of auto repairs, look no further than Nice Tire and Auto Service. Nice has been in business for 16 years with long-term, knowledgeable sales associates. They have the latest wheel balancing machine in the industry. And for passenger vehicles, they service AC, brakes, suspension, tune-ups, and much more. Never sit through a long wait. Nice Tire and Auto has 10 service bays to get you back on the road quickly. If you have tire problems, check out their large inventory with various Goodyear and Michelin tires. Nice Tire and Auto Service, 4792 Bluntstown Highway, 574-4100.
Original Nintendo, Super NES, or Sega Genesis, you name it. They got it at Games for Less. Games for Less, the Super Walmart Shopping Center on Appalachia Parkway. Give them a call today at 850-219-3535. That's Games for Less.
Don't just listen to The Jeff Cameron Show. Watch it live. The Jeff Cameron Show Streamcast. Live, weekdays 3 to 6 p.m. Head to ESPNTallahassee.com today to watch live or catch up on demand. The Jeff Cameron Show Streamcast. Brought to you by Nice Tire and Auto, your trusted Goodyear dealer.
Nice Tire and Auto, just minutes away from FSU campus.
Don't start your day off with the same old boring breakfast. Stop by the Bagel Market and Bistro on Thomasville Road and the Persimmon Hills Shopping Plaza. They have fresh baked bagels and cream cheese every Monday for only $1.50. Green smoothies and great salads like the spinach apple salad. Muffins and cinnamon rolls are also options for breakfast. Sandwiches, salads, and more for lunch and dinner. Open 7 days a week. Check them out online at thebagelmarketandbistro.com or on Facebook and give them a call at 765-0598.
Hi, this is Tom Patterson with Allstate Tom Patterson Insurance. I built our insurance agencies just a little bit different. Of course, we're going to save you money on all the policies that you have, but we also want to make sure you're protected. Because let's face it, if you have a bad car accident, a hurricane comes along, or if there's flood damage, you're not going to call me to talk about how much money I just saved you. You want to know if you're protected. We're going to do just that. Call our insurance agencies at 850-421-1599 to get better protected today and better prepared for tomorrow.
For better gas mileage and a longer-lasting engine, change your vehicle's oil at Superlube every 3 months or 3,000 miles, whichever comes first. For good times and family fun, Tallahassee heads to the Fun Station. And right now, when you change your oil at Superlube, you'll get a $15 Fun Station gift card. You don't need an appointment. You'll be in and out in no time. And with 19 Tallahassee area Superlubes, there's probably one right around the corner right now.
How I love to Superlube my car. Yes, sir.
Congratulations, you are now a licensed drone pilot. But what should you do next to elevate your business to new heights? Learn how to package your drone photography by enrolling in TCC's Wakulla Environmental Institute's Drone Business Video Production course. Don't wait, seats are limited. Go to tcc.fl.edu and search drone today or call 850-558-3500. Learn how to package your drone photography so that you can get your drone business started. Go to tcc.fl.edu and search drone for drone education at TCC's Wakulla Environmental Institute. Class starts June 14th.
Tee it up at the Edwin Watts Golf Memorial Day sale this Friday through Monday with huge savings throughout the store. Trade in your old clubs and score an extra 50% trade-in value towards your new TaylorMade club purchase. Save $70 on the Garmin S20 watch, now $129.99. Or pick up 2 dozen Bridgestone Tour B-Series golf balls for $70. Score these deals and more this Friday through Monday, only at Edwin Watts Golf Shops, home of the 90-day satisfaction guarantee. Celebrating 50 years of serving golfers around the country.
Live from the AmeriGas Propane Studios in the capital city of Tallahassee, this is the Jeff Cameron Show on 97.9 ESPN Radio. It's Balls Mick Wednesday. Brought to you by TNT Supercenter, 14585 U.S. Highway 19, Thomasville, Georgia. Your one-stop shop for all your outdoor entertainment.
Very quick reminder, everybody, that if you're sleeping on a lumpy, sorry pillow, you don't have to. You can get My Pillow. Yeah, My Pillow's good stuff, and they got a special offer right now, a 2-pack special. I've been talking about My Pillow for the last month, and you guys know that I really do use it. I really do like it. My wife agrees. She has one as well. They're nice pillows, comfortable pillows, big pillows. And I never thought I'd be a one-pillow guy. I've always been a multiple pillow guy.
Stack them up kind of guy?
I'm a stack them up kind of guy. My Pillow is fluffy enough, adjust to your the weight of your head and neck if you're a fatty or a skinny lightweight. Doesn't matter. Pillow's perfect for you. I don't know. It keeps you exactly where you need to be.
It just knows.
Well, no, it's funny because that is the only thing I wondered about when I got the My Pillow. I wonder if this will be enough support for me because I'm a guy that sleeps on 2 and 3 and 4 pillows, and I like having options, and I like moving them around and twisting them all about. And I thought, I don't know if I could be a one pillow guy. I've always had multiple pillows. Same time, I like to juggle my pillows. I got them all over the place.
So this pillow made an honest man out of you.
This pillow, I decided to lock in. I thought, I've never had it better than this. I'm going to go ahead and stick with this pillow right here. It's My Pillow, and it comes with a 60-day money-back guarantee. If you try it and you don't like it, if that's not the pillow for you, you can keep on keeping on. You send it back, they'll give you your money. For me, I'm sticking to My Pillow. Also comes with a 10-year warranty. It's made right here. The NFL would be happy. The good old USA. And My Pillow is also machine washable and dryable. I should note that because that's a pretty cool feature. I haven't ever washed a pillow in the past. I've washed covers, but I've never really washed a pillow.
Yeah,
you just throw the whole damn thing in there. Get you some of that pillow. You're getting a washing tonight. Click on the 2-pack special. Enter the promo code 979ESPN. You do that after going to mypillow.com. Mypillow.com. You'll get 2 MyPillow premium pillows, 1 low price, plus free shipping. Free shipping. Go to mypillow.com. Click on the 2-pack special. Enter the promo code 979ESPN. Or you can give them a call. Do so now, 1-800-944-6596. 1-800-944-6596. Just as always, guys, make sure you use that promo code 979ESPN. Get you some savings. All right, probables for tonight. Fire it up.
It's time for, how you say, with the pitching, probables?
Bunch of day baseball today. Obviously, that was redundant. Man, I'm gonna need a pick-me-up, Tom. I gotta get juice for this game tonight.
A pick-me-up?
I feel down. I feel tired.
Well, are you hosting Beyond the Tips tonight?
I am.
It's right in the middle of the game.
Yeah, it hurts.
Jeez.
So I'm going to pull a Tom Wang here. I'm telling you right now, do not text me, nobody, about this game tonight because I'm recording it and I will catch up.
That's me in the regular season, yes, but not for these. But yeah.
No. I mean, this will be. I will catch up. I will be able to, as soon as I finish Beyond the Tips with my good buddy Trey Jones. I will be able to sit down and catch up, and I'll be right there with you guys in the third. I'm just afraid when I do that, I'm going to turn it on and then
it'll be double overtime and the DVR will run out.
I'm going to have it set for the hours on end. It better not be double overtime. Braves, Phillies. No, we can't deal with double overtime.
Take tomorrow off.
Braves, Phillies. Luis Gohara. Jake Arrieta, who really let me down in his last outing. I was sure he was going to pitch well, and he got pasted. Yankees, Rangers, CC Sabathia, Doug Fister. Hey, now. Angels, Blue Jays, Tyler Skaggs, Aaron Sanchez. We got Red Sox and Rays. David Price going against Chris Archer. Excuse me. By the way, I noticed this, especially on the road. Chris Archer will give up some runs, but he's at home tonight. Marlins, Mets, Dan Straley, Jacob deGrom. I take it to beer. Last time out, 13 strikeouts. You know who can't win a game all of a sudden? My Pittsburgh Pirates. After soaring to first place a week ago, they've lost 5 straight. Humbled. Getting pelted by the Padres and Reds. Jesus. Chad Kuhl will look to end the losing streak here for the Buccos against Homer Bailey. I'm concerned that if we can't beat Homer Bailey, we may not win again this month. Cleveland and Chicago's Adam Plutko versus John Lester. Did you see the Indians just pounded the Cubs last night?
10-1, I think.
Yeah,
is that
they
right?
had 10 runs in a 3-inning stretch. It was glorious to watch.
I actually did see that score.
Orioles, White Sox, Alex Cobb, Dylan Covey. And we got Mariners, A's, Marco Gonzalez, Daniel Gossett, followed by the Rockies and Dodgers, Kyle Freeland, and Kenta Maeda. That's a look at those that shall reside on the bump. Woo!
We were at the end of Frank. I don't know what to do
it's
there.
Perfect.
So.
It's perfect. This is the kind of night where you'd do a shot.
No. Game 7s.
Yeah.
I go in those stone cold, man. Until hopefully the end.
I'm saying a victory shot would take place.
Oh,
tonight.
a
victory shot could take place.
Wouldn't that be just something? that did happen now, didn't it?
Yeah.
3 years ago, when we went up to Gordo's North Side.
Yes, we did.
We snuck up
we
there.
We closed the place. We locked the doors. Literally, it was me, you, Dan.
Yeah.
Tom.
Mm-hmm. That was the 2-0 win in the Garden.
I have a picture from the victory that night that just popped up on my screen yesterday. I have one of those Ever apps, and there it was. There
it
we were.
is. Oh man,
you're wearing that.
Yeah. Hopefully, it brings us the same result. But what's interesting about that is that was a road win for us. So hopefully, we can be the home victors tonight.
5-2 in Game 7s for us, man.
Yep.
We've been good.
Name every single one of them.
We've been really, really good. So, oh, by the way, you and I also were watching a stressful game up in the fine state of Alabama.
Oh, I was about dead.
You almost died in that really cool bar. I ordered us 2 beers. You couldn't drink yours.
I got through 3/4 of it by the end of the full hockey game.
You were truly struggling.
That was the weirdest. I don't know what.
You went south in a hurry.
It was like inner ear. And
all in anticipation of Jameis Winston being drafted.
Yeah. I got better by the draft, kind of.
I had a great time at the draft. I was mingling with folks in the area that I wasn't supposed to go.
You know what was the most crazy thing about that is all of the free hats and free swag that were just tossing around. I didn't know
Nike was handing out everything.
They were just chucking shirts at people.
I still have a Nike shirt that I got from Jameis Winston's draft party.
Yeah, I got mine. It's almost ready to be tossed, but
Go
I've worn
Bolts! Go Bolts indeed. Front row Knowles up next. Cal Raleigh going to join him, and the great Tim Linnefelt as well.
Jesse Warren from Florida State softball.
Oh, that's awesome. It is a chocked full episode of the Front Row Knowles. That's all coming up next. Good work out of you. Good work, Matthew. Be well, everybody. Have a great night. Go Bolts. Talk to you tomorrow.